Now that he's got the right Attorney General in position to do it, we now know they really have been trying to gin up prosecutions and criminal investigations into the president's perceived enemies, politically motivated persecution, right? Courtesy of Bill Barr. I'll roll in the FBI on you. That's how banana republics work, right?
The home of the 45th President of the United States has been raided by the FBI.
Mr. Trump is using the Justice Department to go after his perceived enemies. I feel worried about the prospect of the Justice Department being used as a tool of this president or any in our little banana republic. Any capable prosecutor can get a grand jury to hand down an indictment of something as innocent as a ham sandwich.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump.
News on former President Trump. He's been indicted for the 4th time in 5 months.
Bill Barr, on the president's behalf, is weaponizing the Justice Department to go after the president's enemies. When you win an election, you don't seek to just prosecute the losing side.
The president using the Justice Department as a weapon to get what he wants.
Department of Justice is totally politicized.
Sticking the Department of Justice on political opponents, threatening to imprison his political rival, Banana Republic style.
Trying to exact revenge against all of his enemies, tin pot dictator in a banana republic.
Is acting more like a banana republic dictator.
He's using government resources to go after his political opponent.
Essentially, we are a banana republic, that we are seeking to have a bogus and criminal investigation into a political opponent
And that's using the Department of Justice to also target Trump's political opponent for nefarious reasons. This is a massive abuse of power and a betrayal of our values.
The President of the United States is targeting a family member of a political opponent. This is the type of thing that happens in a banana republic.
And trying to take out a political rival in Joe Biden.
Criminally investigating an American political rival, someone the president is worried about losing to in the next election.
To investigate my principal opponent or a principal opponent in the upcoming election. Houston, we have a problem.
Don't you think that's something that should be investigated when the incumbent political party opens a counterintelligence investigation on the candidate of the opposing party?
We know Trump is itching to politicize the Justice Department, and the Attorney General has been super shady.
The president is weaponizing the Department of Justice to bring cases against his enemies. The Department of Justice is in an existential crisis.
Again, it's yet another example of the Justice Department basically losing all of its independence in this administration.
This is now about corrupting the next election, and for me, this was crossing the red line.
A president who is actively trying to potentially steal the upcoming election.
But to try to take out a political rival. The end goal being 2020.
Flight attendants please prepare the cabin for takeoff.
This is how I made 394 hot dogs and took the leftover hot dog water and froze it to make hot dog shaped ice sculptures, which I then mailed out to people in unrefrigerated containers so that when they arrive, they're just puddles of hot dog water. So step one was to dress up like a hot dog salesman and cook 394 hot dogs. And I only needed the hot dog water. I didn't need the hot dogs themselves. So I put all the hot dogs into coolers and I made this big sign that said free hot dogs. And then I painted inside each letter and just went out into the city and gave out all the hot dogs on the street for free. Step two was to take a large chunk of aluminum and cut it in half. And then I brought each half of the aluminum to the milling machine. And this was to just make the two halves of the ice mold. I needed both parts of the mating surfaces to be completely flat and parallel. And so once that was done on the milling machine, I brought it over to the CNC and made a fixture. And then I put the aluminum chunks in and had the CNC cut out the shape of the hot dog, the negative of it. And this is the bottom half of the mold. And once that was done, I took out the bottom half of the mold and super glued in the top half of the mold and did the exact same thing. I did run into an issue though with the top half of the mold where the CNC had a hard time carving out the ketchup line. There were parts of it that it couldn't really reach. And so I did a fix where I put a ball nose end mill and a drill and just manually carved out the ketchup line myself. And once that was done, I had both halves of the mold completed and I just needed to figure out a way to attach them to one another. So I cut out these chunks of aluminum and brought them back to the milling machine.
Faced with the smash of a ball indeed. I'm going on about it in the morning to me. I'm losing in the end and I've gone too far. Force 10 from Navarone is a shot by dart. Cause we never ranked it in the box of isolation. Jason, why does the darkness elope? Cross-sectioned, it's not a drink, and I don't fucking smoke. Jason, why does the darkness elope? Cross-sectioned, it's not a drink, and I don't fucking smoke.
Mum, you can't reach, and then a pause. You look different, a large green blob. Allergic to your own things. Get married and go on safari. Fucking viral, fucking Batman video. On. Why don't you phone up? Spine bend, leg sink, scooter club shit smell. That's my roadkill hat. Don't touch it.
Jason, why does the darkness elope? Cross-sectioned, it's not a drink, and I don't fucking smoke. Jason, why does the darkness elope? Cross-sectioned, it's not a drink, and I don't fucking smoke. Instinct is all, it's a meat to our bones. So hang on to the cable car, force 10 from Navarone. Freeze if your balls and keep your gun around your neck. Force 10 from a contract. It still believes it's not dead, but it is. Fucking dead, fucking dead. Jason, why does the darkness elope? Cross-sectioned, it's not a drink, and I don't fucking smoke. Jason, why does the darkness elope?
What's up, everybody? We're getting out of here. How's your Friday going? Flying Trump Force 1 today. Let's get out of here. What's up, everybody? It's your captain speaking, the American Anchorbaby. We're flying out of Miami International Airport. We are on our way out of the country, getting out of Dodge. We'll be making a international landing over in the Caribbean. The Caribbean? How do you say that? Should be nice weather all the way through. Appreciate you being here today. We're going to have a nice Friday Nick Stream show, so kick back and relax. You are flying Nick Stream. Anchorbaby Air. Clouds behind us, how fitting. Right on, y'all. Welcome to the show. You are flying with me, your captain, the American Anchorbaby. But I get the show on the roll here, pretty much on the roll. What is up? Let me just say hi to everybody here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Chat, camera, hey. What's up, Friday? John Frederick, hey. N-E-R-N, Matthew, Malkuth, Nathan, Johnny, Lord Spike, Protein, MPK, Ivana, TDS, Mr. Nyargis. What's up, everybody? You guys are filing in. CLC, how you doing? We're going to have a nice show today. Going to get into some random stuff, important things, not important things, and your calls. Today we're in the plane, so we're using the airplane phone. That's 760-515-3855. Let's go back to the cockpit here and make sure everything is A-OK on our ascent. Our ascent out of the United States. We will be reaching an altitude of 45,000 feet today for our cruising altitude. Should be a clean flight today. Let's get up to speed, up to altitude. Should be a nice flight. Should be a nice show today. Plenty of in-flight entertainment. The lovely flight attendants will be coming down the aisle, and we'll have full service, and of course all first-class seats. Anybody who's purchased a first-class seat enjoys the critically acclaimed drinkies and snackies on board, right? Right on. So yeah, flying beautifully here out of Miami International. We are on our way to the Caribbean, on our way to Saint Martin, the island. Okay, we will be landing today at Princess Juliana International Airport. Getting out of Dodge, getting out of the country here. We are on the second leg of our trip here. We landed in Florida last week with the president in tow, with a beautiful, tremendous landing. Beautiful, tremendous landing. And we are now leaving to our second location so that where we have an HQ set up for the president so that he can prepare, as right now he's a political prisoner. Or they're trying to make him one, right? Anyways, we're landing in Princess Juliana International Airport today. Should be a nice landing. The reason we're also going there is I'm going to try my first RNAV landing on a Airbus A320neo, which skinned as Trump Force One. Now, the original Trump Force One is really a Boeing 757. But it's okay. We've skinned an Airbus A320neo, still a nice big plane. Haven't ever landed an RNAV style landing on this thing. So it's going to be an interesting one today. Should be not too unlike our regular ILS landing, RNAV, which is short for area navigation. It's just a method of navigation. There's multiple methods of navigations for aircraft, okay? Especially modern aircraft. That's pretty much all you need to know. So we'll be attempting our first RNAV landing in Princess Juliana Airport. And the reason I want to go to Princess Juliana is because they have a really cool landing. They only have one runway, but they have a really cool approach. It's a really, really low approach. And if you've been watching Nick's stream, if you're an OG, you know I like these really low approaches to a runway. There's some enthusiasts out in the world. They go to these runways. These runways are famously or infamously low approaches, and they'll stand at the edge of the runway like daredevils to see how close these aircraft can get to them. Maybe we could do a live stream, mobile live stream from one of these. I believe there's a few in California. That'd be interesting, huh? Go see one of these low approaches. All right, let's get up to speed so the FAA doesn't get mad at us. Let's turn off all of our lights here so we don't get a big old hefty fine when we land. Beacon lights, wing lights on. Nav and logo on. Nav and logo off. Strobe on. We can retract our landing lights, our taxi lights. Beautiful. Don't I sound like I know what I'm doing here? Don't I sound like a good captain? Like I said, you don't want to libel my company here. We have a big, big legal team. So we'll be landing at Princess Juliana. Like I said, let me just show you, in fact, the low approach I'm talking about. For those that don't know, some runways have these incredible low approaches. Here's what I'm talking about. Let me show you here. All right, let's check this out. Short clip here. As you can see, this is a slow-mo of the Maho Beach runway in Saint Martin, the Caribbean island, in this very pixelated video. But check it out. Very low. You see, this wasn't as pixelated when I was watching it. Hold on. Twitter likes to do this. Give me the low-quality version. What's going on here? YouTube lets me pick the quality I want to see the video at, but check it out. Super low. You see this guy in the yellow almost had a bad hair day. So we will be attempting to do this landing using a method of navigation I've never used in this plane. Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. All is well. Can't get close to landings since 9/11. Oh, okay. So maybe I can't do that in this country or in America. Nick trying to run some people over with his little plane. It's not a little one this time, Lord Bibby. What you know about cloud people? What the? Hey, Nathan in the chat. What's up? Is that the same Nathan who's considering military? How you doing, man? How you doing with your decision? Don't let all these people influence you. But I appreciated your call the other day. How's that going if that's the same Nathan? Now that you've had a day or two to sleep on it. All right, y'all. So we got some in-flight entertainment here. This light is pointing to me funny. Let's see if we can fix that real fast because I don't like this glare. This glare your captain's got going on here. Well, that'll do. That'll do. That'll have to do. Okay, so let me show you more of this low flight. We'll be getting into real news and all that too. So don't worry. We got a nice flight, so just kick back and relax. Let's do one last quick check here in the cockpit. Everything's pretty much nice. We have, in fact, no, we're still climbing. We're still climbing. We got to be on the climb detent here. There you go. That's why we're climbing slowly. Okay, the detent, for those that want to know, people asking me sometimes, what are you talking about? A detent is just this little arrow on the throttle, on the master here, the center console for the throttle. You see these arrows, CL, TOGA. Those are your detents. They mean different things. Okay, we need to be climbing. Okay. So bring that back down to the climb detent. There you go. Beautiful. Love it when the plane's flying beautifully. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Flying Trump Force 1 today. Let me show you a little bit more of these super low crazy approaches. One we'll attempt today.
James. And I'm Laurent.
And today we are at I don't care about you guys. Show me the approach. Oh.
It is located at the end of the runway of the St. Martin Airport.
And the planes are flying over the beach.
Over the beach.
Over the beach.
That's the one. We're flying one of those today, A320neo.
A lot of tourists come to Maho Beach just to watch the planes land.
And Nick showing us the things that get destroyed when landing. LOL. That's not funny, Lendy. Not funny. You should expect a letter.
It is one of the largest airports in the Caribbean.
So throughout the day, it's a constant flow of planes flying over the beach.
Small planes, large planes, private jets, they just keep coming.
That's a bit too close for comfort. That's for sure. Beautiful. So, anyways, let's watch one more. Tabor, or is it Tabor? I forgot already. I feel like we've been through this like 3 different times. With a super chat. That means first class is all yours, sir. Appreciate your super chat. First class super chat says, did you see the video of the kid waiting for a hug from Trump? Also, if you look out to the right of the aircraft, you can see Oprah's space lasers. You talk about some directed energy weapons. We're looking out to the right of the cockpit here, and I don't currently... Wait a second. Never mind, no. I don't currently see that, you conspiracy theorists. Although I might see... Are those chemtrails? Don't worry about that, passengers. That's none of your concern. That's a pilot concern. You just be a civilian. Don't ask questions about these are contrails. Okay. Thank you for that. Tabor? The kid waiting for a hug from Trump. Kid waiting for a hug from what 8-year-old tries to... This is a 2018 video. Young boy tries multiple times to give Trump a hug. I think I remember this. I don't know. This is from 2018. I don't know if it's the same video, man. But anyways, where were we? Talking about Maho Beach. We'll be landing there. It should be a nice flight. Kick back and relax. Tabor. Thank you for that. Tabor. Also, speaking of the islands, that island sound. Speaking of the islands, I got the sparkle blouse on. Actually, that's not what I was going to say, speaking of the islands. That's another statement. But let me let me stop that statement. I happen to have the sparkle blouse on. And I don't know, I should wear it on the other with the other camera in the studio because it doesn't look quite as sparkly here, but it's kind of fitting. It's got palm trees on it. That's what the sparkles were. They were palm trees. Sorry to break the illusion here. I shouldn't wear this on this camera. I should wear it on the studio camera where it looks like a sparkle. The sparkle blouse makes a return here. I did not get rid of it. How am I gonna do that? Then that's ridiculous. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to be an OG to know. Very early on when I did a guest hosting of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, I wore this shirt. I wore the shirt, and I did a whole 3-hour show thinking that people were listening to me, but they weren't listening to me. They were just commenting on my sparkly blouse. Awesome episode. You guys rock. Thanks. Birdie Bow Brian with this first class super chat. First class seat is all yours, sir. Says Nick about to be lane splitting with the paint dripping from the big B dressed to a T for Trump. That is smooth sailing. Thank you, sir. Kick back and relax. Plenty of legroom in those first class seats. Much appreciated. Okay. I don't remember the shirt looking like that. See, Kaya, I'm breaking the illusion here. It's not right. It's not right. How did it look white before? No. The sparkly blouse was always this color. Poor Lin Yenchin, is he in the chat? He's not seeing the sparkle blouse. He's kept it alive all these years. The sparkle blouse. Lord Bibby, what's up, man? With the first class super chat is all yours. Please, sir, sit on your seat as we roll out the red carpet and the nice ladies bring you over to your seat. He says, with a first class super chat, OMG, sparkle blouse, yes, in the building. Man, it's what's up, everybody. I see you guys in the chats coming out of the woodwork. Y'all are here. The gang is here. What's up? Nice. It's okay. Hassan wore a pink suit like a bishop. Don Juan. Kevin Howe. I don't know. Is this wrong for me to say? Is this too much inside baseball? But after the show, he went to go return it. It was a special item for the show, for that episode. Hey, Hassan's got style. That's for sure. That is for sure. Okay, y'all. Let's not dilly-dally too much here. So I told you where we're flying to. It's going to be our first interesting landing here. Anchorbaby, punch and search satellite lasers in January. Just like that in local news. What are you talking about? I might do that, but first, are we losing altitude here? We're in the cockpit. We are, in fact, ticking closer to our cruising altitude, so no, we're fine. So we're going to the Princess Juliana Airport to show you the Maho Beach. You know, speaking, in fact, of the Caribbean and tropical storms, maybe. Hurricane Idalia. You know about the Hurricane Idalia. How do you pronounce that? Hurricane Idalia. It seems like, back-to-back disasters. Hurricane on the east, hurricane in the west. Fires in Maui. Anyways. So Hurricane Idalia, I had a caller yesterday. I've had this caller call me a few times over the past week and a bit. His name is Zeus. I wonder if Zeus is in the chat. Zeus, who is in Florida and was supposed to get hit by the hurricane big time. And he called the show. We know him somewhat. You guys know him if you guys know who I'm talking about. Well, It was supposed to hit. He decided to stay. Everybody in his area seemed to have evacuated, yet he stayed. I told him, hey, you know, keep your wits about you. Don't just tell yourself you're staying no matter what. If the time comes to leave, be smart. And okay, right. And so he's on that. He's on that saying, no, God will protect me. I'll stay there. Calls the show yesterday or the other day. Hurricane pretty much veered off, totally went away from where he was. They still got hit somewhat. And there's images of the hurricane. We just looking at over here. That, you know, they're not nice. There's some destroyed property as we're seeing here. Whole pickup trucks thrown around. So pretty serious in some areas. But our friend Zeus was just fine. Calls us a few days later, informs us that the storm went the other way. And everybody who left, all panicked, had egg on their face, including your captain speaking. Your captain here. Well, I wasn't poo-pooing the notion that God would protect him, but you know, I was being that guy. Just you know, just hey, be safe. Just be safe. That's all I'm saying. You know, just be safe. Not calling you crazy. Just be safe, man. Just be safe. And I got I got shown what's what. Clearly, God found one good person and did not destroy the city. So Zeus is fine. That was cool. I came across this this article, Daily Mail. Hurricane Idalia could have been much more devastating if not for a last-minute natural phenomena. Natural, they say. Despite Category 3 storm wreaking havoc across Florida and into North Carolina. This was a Category 4 storm, right? And I'm pretty sure that's pretty bad for what I heard. I think they only go up to Cat 5, right? What's the highest category storm? I'm pretty sure it's Cat 5. Anyways, this thing is barreling in. Idalia is barreling in. And it goes from Cat 4 to Cat 3. Not only that, it veers off like, oh, there's Zeus. Time to turn this way. There's Zeus in Florida. And not only that, there was apparently they're calling it natural phenomena. They're calling it a natural phenomena. It's called an eye wall replacement cycle, okay? Now, if you're not a meteorologist, you may not know what a eye wall replacement cycle is. Well, the eye of the storm is the center of it, right? Where the opening is. Where it's calm, they say. The center of the storm, the eye of the storm. And the wall of the eye of the storm is supposed to be the most craziest part of the storm. Well, through some stuff that in my research I come to learn, scientists have no idea how this happens. Sometimes, for some reason, the eye wall just disappears and reappears somewhere else. And oh well. They say natural phenomena, but I think our friend Zeus over there in Florida, I don't know. He forgave his mother. That's a supernatural phenomena, if you ask me. Whoa! What's up? Renee and Lin Yan Chin coming in strong. Back-to-back super chats as well as Carver. Let's get the boys into their first class seats, please. Flight attendants, please. Lovely ladies, come on. Please bring them over. Bring them up. Have them sit in their seats. We have VIPs coming through. Lin Yan Chin says, I missed the golden fleece of our entire race, the sacred sparkle blouse. I have it on, Lin Yan Chin. In fact, I have it on. The golden fleece itself, the sparkle blouse. I have it on, and I do feel the power, actually. Renee, thank you. First class super chat says, this suit, sir, I thought it was a different pink. Is that Hassan at the store? At the stove? Carver, thanks for that, says Hassan's documents were just the Blazers receipt. You may have heard Hassan's got receipt. Hassan's got documents. He's got a DOS. In fact, could you say? No, I don't want to hype Hassan's next episode too much. But I think, in fact, he may just have enough documents that may just constitute a dossier, just almost, You're going to have to tune in to find out the truth. It may even be a dossier of sorts. Not a steal dossier. This will be real. Hassan, wow Hassan, W-O-W Hassan, Hassan on YouTube. You don't want to miss it. 2 episodes in, already killing it. Got a 3rd one coming up. He says he's got documents. He says he's got a possible dossier of very interesting secrets of the world. You're going to want to tune in. Okay. I think that's all the super chats for now. I do want to say hello to Rumble and Twitch. What's up, everybody? In fact, I just got a new follow on Twitch. That's cool. It's Deadly. How you doing, CLC, over there on Twitch? That's super cool. It's Deadly. Are you new to the show? Twitch is a totally different platform. It's very possible you may have never even heard of the Anchorbaby. I'm the captain of this flight that you are now enjoying if you are in the audience. And we will be getting into some more in-flight entertainment today. We have a nice show ahead, and we also take calls. We take calls on this show. That's 760-515-3855. You want to just jump in and talk about what you want to talk about. So, we had our nice opening there, full of energy. I say, what shall we do now? I say, Tabor, hold up. Before we wind it down, relax, recline our seats a little bit. Every seat you can recline on Trump Force One, by the way, not just first class. We'll be just relax a little, recline the seat, get into our first, I guess, topic here. I want to talk about a little bit about Trump, the EU, and the ADL, and what's going on. A little bit of a trend going on here. I do really like how the Hake Report called the ADL stuff a trend. We'll get into that here shortly. We'll be reclining our seats here shortly, get the vibes going just right. But Tabor has a first-class super chat. I heard the airlines lowered their standards for pilots, but Anchorbaby's in the cockpit? What the? Also, give Hassan's mom a show. That would be an interesting show. Mary Jane, talking with Mary Janey. We love Mary Janey, right? We love Janey. Right on. Okay. Nick buying all the sparkle blouses with his super chat money. You know it. We're going to be balling. When we blow up, smart financial decisions? No. No. The viewers' money will go into luxury sparkle blouses. Duh. That's might be a funny merch thing. All right, y'all. The ADL, they say it's the worst. They're censoring everybody. As your president, I will not allow this. Kevin Howe in the chat says, where's all the conservatives? Conservatives. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, Peterson, Kent. Peterson? What Peterson are you talking about here, Kevin? You want to tell me which Peterson you're talking about here? Candace Owens? That's funny. Did you spell it the way Jesse pronounces that? Candace Owens? Charlie Kirk, when it comes to backing the band, the ADL thing, they're silent. I don't know if they have to comment. I'd like for them. I'd like to hear it. Why? Well, although I may have learned some stuff about the ADL just recently. I don't need to be bandwagoning off this trend. We can all agree. We don't need that censorship. And we definitely don't need that coming from people that we have no clue what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Unelected individuals policing our speech, okay? Hold up. We can no longer let big tech self-regulate. It has spread virulent hate, enabled on-the-ground violence, and significantly contributed to a fractured democracy, all in service of profit. We need the government to ensure platforms are protecting consumers rather than protecting their bottom line. But government cannot effectively hold tech accountable unless it also appropriates adequate resources to do so. The creation and funding of an oversight body, such as the Bureau of Digital Services Oversight and Safety, is absolutely vital to repair our internet. That is why ADL is encouraged by the efforts in this act to scale resources for enforcement, enhance platform transparency, and issue best practices to address systemic risks on platforms. Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. So, been a bit of a trend, a little, right? You heard about this on the Hake Report, but it got some attention online thanks to, I think, people like Jake Shields and stuff. You definitely want to check out the Hake Report for the full report there on that. The saga that's kicked off the hashtag on Twitter saying, ban the ADL. Hold up. I wonder if I could change. Am I allowed to change? Is it too late to change the weather and time? God, can you please move the sun around a little bit? I'd like more sunlight for this very low landing later. You know what I mean? That would be nice. If not, it's okay. Keep the flight going, right? That was a quote from Jonathan Greenblatt, okay, CEO of the Anti-Defamation League. Let's get into this a little bit. So, let's just get into this a little bit. I'm gonna click just clicking through my links here. Give me a second. Give you the story. Give you what I wanted to say about this. You know, I really like how Hake called it, that he just said it in the title, okay? And he mentioned it a few times during the episode, the Hake Report today, where he called it like a trend, the ADL kind of trend thing, where people are gonna, you know, hopping on this trend to ban the ADL. And we can agree that we don't want the ADL's type of censorship and all that. And we'll get into that, what that means and what the ADL is. But definitely don't bandwagon, okay? People, not only is it cringe, okay, this goes for me, okay? I never say things here with an air of superiority, but it's cringe. Just they say, who was it? Leon. They're saying the ADL was started by this guy, okay? This guy, Keith Woods. Not Keith Woods. Keith Woods didn't start it, but Keith Woods has some video that's getting attention about the ADL and its origins. Okay?
The ADL is the organization most responsible for silencing free speech on the internet today, but not everyone knows its strange origin story. The ADL was established in 1913 to defend the honor of Leo Frank, a Jewish businessman in Atlanta accused of the rape and murder of Mary Fagan, a 13-year-old girl. Now, the ADL still says it's anti-Semitic to say Frank committed this crime, despite numerous eyewitness testimonies contradicting his alibi, him being the last person to see her alive, and multiple female employees of his coming forward to testify to his history of aggressive sexual behavior. The jury itself included no less than 5 Jews who found Frank guilty. Frank and his allies tried to blame a series of innocent black men by planting false evidence and using bribes to solicit false testimony. Now ask yourself, why in the racist South in 1913 would people choose to lynch a wealthy and connected businessman rather than accuse black people? The ADL still insists on his innocence and will add questioning it to the long list of things that make you an anti-Semite.
Well, don't Far be it from me to ever question such a thing. Now, that's what Keith Woods is saying. People are saying this Leon guy, and this is the origins. I just learned about this like today, yesterday. So, I don't know. Hey, Jabrail, NTP, super chatted. Thank you, sir. First class is yours. Make sure, ladies, flight attendants, don't miss Jabrail. We have a VIP in the back. Why is he not in the front? Okay? Sorry. You guys don't need to see this. This is inside baseball. This is between me and the flight attendants. You guys don't need to see this. So, yeah. So I just learned about this. So I don't know, but I don't need to know. I don't need to know about all this to not like the ADL, right? I don't need to jump on the bandwagon either. Just kind of reporting on what's on the saga a little bit here, okay? Just kind of reporting on the saga a little bit. So that's Keith Woods. He's talking about Leon. But let me show you why you shouldn't jump on bandwagons, because then you start acting crazy. You just start saying things that you don't know. And Hake talked about this Sam Parker guy on Twitter, also posting on the ban the ADL hashtag on Twitter or X. And, jumping on this hashtag trend here and trying to get the word out, attention out. That's great. Thank you, Sam Parker. But it's funny how he starts off this tweet here. I don't think, apologies if Hake already reported on this, but it's just, you're trying to put out a message. You're trying to put out information, wake people up. And this is how you started off. He says, number one, why does the ADL promote this overt anti-white hatred and bigotry? And you're like, okay, well, yeah, we don't like anti-white hatred and bigotry. That never gets called out. And so show me your evidence. And you post this photo. And it says, no place for whites. These balloons and these POCs smiling. Look at that, just smiling like it's just like a Apple commercial or something. Just for a more connected world. You know what I mean? Just smiling, these POCs, and then they got balloons, and it says no place for whites. Hold up. Who knew anti-white hatred and bigotry had such a nice smiley face? Well, he gets community notes, this Sam Parker guy. Community notes, which is this function of the new Twitter, which sometimes adds context to a post. In the spirit and in an attempt to combat and dissuade further misinformation. They'll jump in on a post and add context, right? And they did this in this instance, and they say, this photo has been digitally altered. The balloons originally said no place for hate, not no place for whites. And then you go to the community notes link and you see it in fact does say no place for hate. That would be so funny if it said no place for whites. I mean, it'd be dark too. These things we laugh about are also pretty dark, but it's not. And it's just the wrong foot forward, my man. You know what I mean? Probably an effect of bandwagoning. I don't know this guy too well. I really don't know. But you don't want to be doing stuff like that, because then in this dumb battle, left, right, the truth, blah blah blah, Twitter, conservatives. Usually not much gets done. Here's one thing that doesn't really happen is you convince the other side. But there's people who have no opinion, who haven't really, and I'm not saying people should take a side, but there's people who just don't have any idea of these things. And they'll maybe tend to align a certain way or the other. But these kinds of things will, it hurts your message, will radicalize people the other way. And you have to be aware of, in all situations, how you're operating. Because anytime you're not operating out of awareness, the enemy can use you as their pawn. Even though you may think you're doing the right thing, right? You're like, well, they are against white people, so at least I'm putting it out there. Even if this photo is fake, the ends justify the means. And whatever. Just kind of stuff I'm noticing, commenting on. Right on. So just bandwagony. A little bandwagony here, y'all.
Literally.
This is one of the clips that people are talking about. It's Jonathan Greenblatt on The Breakfast Club. You heard about this clip. Let's just watch it.
So literally, we opened a center in Silicon Valley back in 2017. And the woman who runs it, she's an ex-Facebook executive. I have software engineers and data scientists working at ADL. We're monitoring all this stuff. And we're working with all the platforms, by the way. Google and YouTube and Meta and Twitter and Reddit and Steam and Amazon, all these companies. From like Apple to Zoom, we work with all of them, okay?
Wow.
That's relevant because we've been working with Twitter now since it was founded. We worked with the old regime, working with the new regime.
So there he is, his own words, Jonathan Greenblatt, telling us how the ADL has their tendrils in every facet of the public square online, where we express ourselves, where movements get started, where people organize, where information gets shared, big time news. What the heck is going on? Who voted for this guy? Who elected this guy? Kind of a fair question, don't you think? Interesting comment here from Kevin Howe in the chat. All the groypers on X are doing a disservice to this ban the ADL movement. Keep posting stuff about how they killed their god, proud anti-Semites, stuff like that. That doesn't help the cause. JS, just saying. You know what, Kevin Howe? You're making a lot of sense there. Making a lot of sense to me there because, you know, if you don't know people listening, groyper, the groypers are basically the followers, the audience, fans, all the way from fanatics to followers and fans or whatever. The point is, it's kind of like the audience of Nick Fuentes. You may have heard of that name before, but I'll just speak in this way because there's people who watch my show that I'm surprised that are watching me. They have no idea who JLP is, all the things that we know. But Nick Fuentes, he talks about the ADL, Jewish power, that kind of stuff. But his audience is the groypers, and if it's true that that's how they're acting, Kevin Howe on X, you know, and I like joking. Don't get me wrong. A lot of these groypers, they just edgy jokes and stuff, so no need to go hard on them. They're just young and making jokes, but you can see how some of those, you know, that joking and that irreverence, maybe facetiousness, maybe just wrong timing, that kind of stuff can work against you, right? And it's not I don't know if that's smart. And another thing is you killed our God, so they believe Jesus is God, and already they have like a false identification there. They killed God, but you know and on that, I'm taking another tangent here. If you're following me, they say they killed Jesus. Okay, maybe you don't think he's God, but you hear people say, well, they killed Jesus. They hate Jesus. But wasn't that like a long time ago? Am I being too simplistic here? Like that was like a long time ago, and yeah, that maybe there's attitudes and sentiments today. Obviously, I've seen it written out by people who call themselves Jews that they dislike Jesus and Christianity. But you know what I'm saying? Like the people who killed Jesus, they're not here. Anyways, let's bring it back. Jonathan Greenblatt, the groypers, right? The groypers, Kevin Howe in the chat, his comment making sense. The groypers acting this way, saying, oh, proud anti-Semite and all that. And you know, on that, these topics like Jewish power and that kind of stuff, I think it really matters. I think this is how most people feel, or I'll just say this is how I feel about it. And this is how I think most people on the right, especially the thinking kind, geez, that's not good thinking. But look, what I'm trying to say is I think when I hear about that stuff, I'm paying attention not so much to the information because I can't verify it and I don't know that stuff anyways, but to like how people are, like the spirit behind someone's speech. And if someone isn't really being logical, you know, they're coming to, making all sorts of conclusions and stuff without really knowing. And I've had them call my show and I try and point that out. I notice that, and that kind of breaks my confidence in someone. And I'm just like, you're kind of willing to believe deceptions and come up with conclusions. Why should I believe you about Jewish power? But when I hear like people who speak very plainly and logically, and they explain very, very well their thinking, like Nick Fuentes, although I can't confirm the things he says sometimes, and so I'm not just going to believe them. when I hear him speak, I think, well, if it's true what you're saying, well, then it makes a lot of sense, and that's not good. So, on your comment there, Kevin Howe, it makes sense, because going around saying, proud anti-Semite, that may be funny, but not always strategically, a good thing, or even works to the good of getting to the truth of things. You know what I'm saying? Calming down attitudes as high as they are lately. It's kind of necessary. Let me read this super chat from Lin Yan Chin. The internet is synthetic extension of our nervous systems. It grants pseudo-telepathy. Isn't it obvious that such a platform is used to subjugate us? Interesting comment, Lin Yan Chin. It's interesting in that what I'm realizing... That's so true, Hake. What I'm realizing is there's actually been like a big global battle over internet supremacy, actually, that I wasn't really aware about. We have heard inklings of it, and people who've been paying attention probably do know. But over the years, with stuff like SOPA, the Digital Services Act in the EU, the ADL's work in America, there's actually a bit of a global supremacy fight over the internet. We're going to get into that here shortly. It fits this whole ADL stuff. But where was I? We saw the Greenblatt clip. Oh, yeah. Interesting post here from Cernovich. Mike Cernovich. You know Mike Cernovich. And he is saying some spicy things about the ADL. Let's see if we can pull it up. The ADL website is currently spreading blood libel against the Catholic Church, a lesson plan it created. Oh, my apologies. Anybody trying to call, 760-515-3855. Numbers on the screen if you forget. It's unmuted if you want to call. ADL website is currently spreading blood libel against the Catholic Church. A lesson plan it created for schools contains the mass graves hoax. And here Cernovich posts a couple of things from the website about a lesson plan on these indigenous communities in Canada and evidence, so-called evidence, of mass graves, which, by the way, has never been found. One of the most interesting hoaxes of recent note. No human remains found 2 years after claims of mass graves. All these claims of mass graves in Canada of these poor indigenous folks, the First Nations, who were brutalized by whatever. And no human remains found. And this conspiracy, this totally baseless conspiracy from the ADL, from the media, is being pushed by the ADL here. And they don't care. At least according to Cernovich. They don't seem to care about that. And Cernovich very aptly points out that there was like a whole bunch of arson in Canada of churches over this conspiracy theory. Talk about an ideology of hate that's creating a atmosphere of violence. Hey, hello ADL, hello. Like my old pastor used to say. Hello, when he knew people were falling asleep. Hello ADL. What isn't this the same? What are you talking about? Remember? Isn't this that ideology of hate that's going around? It's causing violence. Can we deal with this? Map of 83 churches that have been vandalized or burned since the residential schools announcement. 83 churches in Canada vandalized, burned down, desecrated since the announcement of the apparent discovery of graves, which there was never evidence, and we now have seen there continues to be no evidence. What a shame. What a shame. Canada, what happened to you? We stand on guard for thee. What happened? Oh, Canada. Glorious and free. National anthem of Canada. It's kind of it always kind of sounded a little weenie to me, but I like it. It's cute. It's not like the war anthem of America. Yeah. But oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. What happened? What happened?
Speech.
I guess here's some more Jonathan Greenblatt. Let's finish this segment up.
The ADL, our Center for Technology and Society, works actively with all the kind of companies of Silicon Valley, from Apple.
83 is a hate number. That's true. I learned that on the Hate Report today. Is there a connection there? Is there a connection between the 83 burned churches? Did we just read a Nazi website?
The ADL, our Center for Technology and Society, works actively with all the kind of companies of Silicon Valley, from Apple to Zoom, if you will, from Amazon to Microsoft to Meta, and indeed to Twitter. We've dealt with them for years, helping them tackle the challenges of hate speech on their service. We point things out, we share information, but what we've said again and again.
Is that the plane? Oh, I thought we were getting alarms from the plane.
And again, and I've had the privilege of speaking directly to Elon a few times. The reason why we are so concerned is because we think Twitter is such a consequential service. And again, allowing people who created the toxicity on the platform that led to real world.
Oh, is this a 4-minute clip? Okay, whatever, Jonathan Greenblatt. We know what you're about. Whatever. You know what? Last thing here on this. I saw that in this, I guess, to tie this saga off, it looks like Elon Musk responded to this whole thing. He responded to Keith Woods, I believe. Let me make sure it's not the parody account. I keep doing that. I'll keep reporting on an Elon Musk parody account, thinking it's Elon Musk. But apparently he replied to the Keith Woods post on the ADL saying the ADL has tried really hard to whatever. Elon Musk. I swear I saw that. Where did I see that? Whew. Hold up. I thought I did. Elon Musk, ADL. Oh, Elon Musk wades deeper into anti-Semitic propaganda. Rolling Stone. Hold up. An anti-ADL campaign is erupting on Twitter, and Elon Musk endorsed it. Bingo! We got the news. We, in fact, are not reporting. What the heck is this stupid website? It wants me to do something. Is erupting on Twitter, and Elon Musk endorsed it. You see this? Elon Musk likes my call to ban the ADL. Huh? Imagine that. All right, y'all. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on here. Let's see how you guys are doing here. We're gonna move on here, but I'm gonna need to turn on the AC here. Let's get the vibes rolling. We'll switch gears here. Let me see. We'll switch gears here. Let's get back to the show here in a moment. But like I said, we're flying extreme right now. Kick back, relax, and I'll be right back.
In a little village church in an old Hawaiian town, that's where I met the girl of my dreams. When the organ played a song and the choir sang along, it was just like heaven to me. When the preacher said amen, I took her by the arms and then
poor people in Hawaii.
Down the aisle we strolled.
Some church in an old Hawaiian town.
Oh, that's where I found.
I haven't said anything provocative for you, Frederick.
With the girl that God had blessed.
Oh God, God sent him a girl. Jeez.
In an old Hawaiian town.
Here, you guys got to see the YouTube video for this.
When the preacher
it's just like it's just like Google images of churches in Hawaii in Windows Movie Maker. You gotta love it. All right, y'all. How are we flying? Because I'm flying an interesting approach here and all that. We're in the cockpit. I want to make sure that everything's good here. All right, let's turn this down. That's enough, boy. So, what is this? My screen looks funny. That doesn't look right. I don't recognize this screen, and that's making me nervous. What if there it is. That looks more familiar. How far are we? Okay, I think we're okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta check this computer here. And what do I gotta do? I think I gotta press flight plan? Nope. Radio nav? Yeah. We'll figure this out later. Closer to the runway. How about that? Wish we could change the time. Make it daytime. Or at least a little bit more sun. I think there is a way. Bear with me. I don't think we can. It's okay. We keep going. What's up, yo? It's Shannon. All right. Speech laws in the EU. Nah, that's it. I think that's okay for now.
Call from
Frederick.
I got Frederick on the air. How you doing, man? California,
What's
Frederick.
going on? That's right. What's going on, Nick?
All is well, Frederick. Thanks for calling. How you doing?
All right. I just wanted to pick your brain. We can both not, you know what I'm saying, choose sides on this subject.
All right. Okay, we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
We'll do our best. Right. I want to ask you how you feel about Trump telling Vivek to calm down the rhetoric.
I heard about that.
Turn people off.
I heard about
that.
What did he exactly tell him to calm down? Do you know?
You know what he's telling him to calm down.
I didn't quite look into it. In my mind, I'm thinking, is he telling him to calm down about the 9/11 stuff?
Yeah.
Is it that?
Of course.
Because I didn't hear what Vivek said about the 9/11 stuff. I just heard, I saw a headline saying Vivek is starting to peddle in conspiracy or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they ain't gonna back his conspiracy theories. Trump plan is all his fans are on it, but he can't say it out loud. This is where Trump even telling him to stand down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not good. It's not good.
And why do you
y'all
say
need
that?
to stand up. This is y'all time to stand up if they know. We are going to cut off Israel, and we are going to cut off Ukraine. It's only fair. If we do it to Ukraine, we got to do it to Israel and all these other countries and give blacks reparations and spend money in America and make America great. They going to do it. And then everybody be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I smoke hybrids and indica for the chat. They wondering. But yeah.
No, don't do that. So I see what you're saying, man, because it's supposed to indicate like, okay, that means she's showing that there's a ceiling here that Trump won't go past. But I don't know, man, because think about it for a second. Has Trump stopped being America first? Why does he have to speak in a certain way? You know, maybe it's not time. Maybe it's not time. Because think about it. What do Americans want? What do we want? We want the country to run right. We want people to, care about the crime and stuff that's going on.
We want the truth to be told.
Right, but that's kind of
you can't tell the truth.
But you know what
I
mean?
Poetry. Nobody likes poetry.
But not every voter is out here saying, "I'm voting for Trump because he's got to stop all this Israel stuff." You know what I mean? Not everybody's on that.
No, but they know.
But we know what a lot of people are agreeing with.
DeSantis
That's transcending different mindsets and political affiliations and all that. America first. People are catching on to that.
All right.
You want him to be out here saying what?
Let's see how much the people that fund their campaign feel like America first.
Trump's campaigns? You mean us? We fund that.
And Vivid. I don't know. There's some people like that.
He's got like PAC money
in place.
There's some PAC money on there.
There's the puppets. Come on now.
No, that's just too far to say.
And the duopoly are never the ones. They're just the pawns in place to do what the bid for the central bank and say,
so
we'll raise the debt ceiling. We'll raise the debt ceiling. Of course we will.
Fair enough. So what you're essentially saying here, let's get down to it. You're essentially saying that Trump is lying. This whole thing is it's a joke. He's controlled.
He's like, he's
not stopping anything. You're saying he's lying.
No, Trump don't really speak that rhetoric. I give him that. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem and all of that. Hey, he's good, but he don't want, if he gets hit with that 14th Amendment, Section 3, for Vivek to shoot himself in the foot on trying to pull his team together on what they really believe that will bring them together, but you can't say it. You know what I'm saying?
But you really think that'll bring people together? That's not. That's not what people care about or really think. They're not even thinking like that.
Yeah, they want their money. If he say I'm gonna back this $1 by gold again, and we're gonna get off of the Federal Reserve's money and start really speaking like what the real problem is, because there's no competition in capitalism today, and they just being hungry and eating up everything from real estate to anything they can get their hands on to replace you with AI, and nobody's talking about it.
Like, that we agree on some stuff here, but like, why are you? What is that? What is this about? That's what you say. You say that's what's needed, and that needs to be talked about, and that's what's going to unite us. When what's working here? What's working is America first. That's an umbrella that's including, you know what I'm saying by including a bunch of people, not to be inclusive, but it just so happens that America first is bringing together a lot more people than whatever you want him to say.
Okay, that's a broad umbrella. America first,
and America first still fits what you're
saying. Climate change. It could include climate change, the Green New Deal. America first could be.
Trump's not like that.
Biden's going with America first too. I mean, NATO, that's the first line. He's like, they all saying America first. Like,
right, but Trump's America first has got the establishment going nuts and saying, we got to get rid of this guy, left and right, mobilize together, unify against Trump and the people. You see, come on. It's kind of a little different than what you're saying.
The right always been one party tricking you. They
okay, and that's what I was trying to ask you. That's fair enough, and that's what I was trying to ask you, because in my mind, that's how I see it. And so I guess I wanted to ask you. You're saying that that's a lie. The whole thing's a deception.
Yeah, it's deception. They two parties throwing the ball over the American people.
And Trump is part of that.
Like, hey, you run to them when they got the ball, and you don't like them, you throw it over there. Like, yeah. It's not.
Okay. All right.
It's the duopoly.
Gotcha. Okay, so I just want to get your I just wanted to hear your mindset
Dr.
out
Cornel
here.
West,
So you
Dr.
see,
Cornel West
you see
is
the
the
what's
only one against the establishment.
I want to ask you about Cornel West next. So you see what's presented with the Trump side, that anti-establishment, both sides mobilized against him, historical indictments, political prisoners, all that stuff is going on. But you're saying that's a whole charade. That's a whole big charade, and we're all falling for another okie doke.
Yeah, pretty
Interesting.
much. Trump's name ain't even gonna be on the ticket, and he got so much popularity. He needs to be trying to find a good vice president. And
But why would you want him to find a good vice
right
president? I thought he was lying to us. You can't be halfway.
No.
I thought he's part of the system. He's lying to us.
He thinks the people gonna be able to push him in, but he's not even gonna be on the ballot. He's gonna be removed soon. So who are the people gonna think should be his vice president to carry the torch? Who do you think that person's gonna be after Trump?
I'm not sure. I really don't know. What do you think?
That's the only reason Trump is telling very watch your rhetoric. You can offend some people,
Because
and
he might be like a Trump proxy.
Quick. A proxy?
He might be Trump's proxy or something.
I don't know. His replacement. Trump endorsed whoever Trump endorsed. They going heads up with Biden because Trump endorsement means a lot, and he's gonna pass that baton to one of them. Y'all got to figure out which one it's gonna be. DeSantis is in line
really
down
think
there
that?
with Florida. Yeah,
I really think he's
DeSantis
doing all
has got
this,
the
saying he's saying I will be your president. Like even if they put me in jail, he's saying all that all to what? He's actually in the back. Actually in the background, he's actually setting up Vivek or DeSantis.
You ask the population right now, 30% to say Trump's the president and the military's in charge of the country. So what's the difference of him winning the next election, even if he don't, going to jail, and them saying, yeah, Trump's president? They really believe it.
Well, what you're asking me is like what's going to happen in this historical time that nobody knows how it's going to end up. So I don't know. Because he's saying that it doesn't matter if they put him in jail. His supporters are saying the same thing. So let's say it's true what you're saying. He's not even going to be on the ballot. He said he's going to run independent. I don't know. The point is he's making all this noise saying he's doing it anyways. You're saying, well, look, what do you think is going to happen? Let's say that happens. He's not on the ballot. They put him in jail. They say, no, he can't be. What do you think is going to happen then?
They're going to vote for one of the ones that was on stage.
And that's what all the voters are going to do. They're just be like, oh, well, I guess we got to pick a different guy.
Yep. And we got a long time before the election, and y'all don't realize that. Like, all this hype is really
But you also don't know. You're sounding like you're making up stuff too.
Look at the
I'm not saying I'm not saying like they're not trying to keep him off the ballot, and that might not happen, but you don't know.
All right.
I wanted to ask you. Right. We've talked multiple times before, and I enjoy our conversations. But I wanted to get this straight because I want. You're like a nice guy. I enjoy talking to you sometimes, and I don't have any personal issues with you. But I wanted to get this straight because in my mind, I guess, I want you to confirm or deny this for me. Like, dispel this illusion I have of you, if it's an illusion. But in your mind, like, are you with this whole? Because in my mind, you're like nice and cool, and we're cool and all that. But in your mind, you're thinking, white people are gonna get what's coming to them. They're gonna be slaves. The blacks are gonna be the owners. They're gonna. All that happened in the past. They're gonna receive what's coming. All that. Are you with that whole thing? Okay.
No,
I had you pegged wrong. My bad.
Yeah.
That's like other callers.
I got a character named Frederica, and he's about that life. He represents the streets and the struggling. Frederick, I'm retired living in Beverly Hills, so I don't have to do a thing. So I got a different perspective on what's gonna happen. But sometimes them voices from the street, I gotta speak for them and how they feel and why all the crime is happening because they never got any therapy from slavery. And it's like the spiritual malady from their parents has been passed down. But talking about them ain't gonna fix them.
But you don't believe that. You know that that's evil and wrong for them to feel that way.
I mean, evil and wrong. Yeah. To blame and hate for no reason. Yeah, these ain't the people that they should be blaming. They already dead and gone. Y'all aren't the racists. That's why we team up with so many that actually have a heart that feels white guilt when they see shootings like that go on in grocery stores. And they be like, man, if there was like, there's only 14% of us. Let's say 14% of y'all decided that, hey, we're going to all kill 3 people and eradicate us. You don't think that's a possibility when 14% out of 68 of the 70 in the United States could be like that, and it could keep going on and they can't stop it? And it's just happening, and they get madder and madder, and then before you know it, they don't know how to express themselves because the president's going down. They feel like they losing, and they're going to be more walking in the different places, can't express themselves, full of anger, be still and watch, and they watching and watching. You ever seen that show Boiling Point?
No.
Yeah. They
sounds like anybody that hates.
Lines.
That's interesting.
No,
your description, it sounds like all people who hate, white people who blame, women who blame.
Yeah,
it sounds so similar what you're describing, that same spirit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very interesting.
It's God's plan. It's like, you can just see, people leaving manifestos and both sides. And I even kid with some people, but it's not funny. But when whites do become a minority in the future, they're gonna want to have a voice and speak out, and everybody's gonna laugh at them like, what'd you say? And it's gonna be like, no, we didn't do y'all like this. They're gonna be like,
but that's such a fantasy. Are you almost implying that that's what happened to blacks when they're the most celebrated? Their voices get put up. The word black gets capitalized and everywhere.
No,
come on, man.
That's just some AP studies and Florida CRT stuff you talking about. No, I'm talking about just common facts that white's gonna be the minority. They say that.
Right.
I'm not making that up.
No, I know, but you were saying that, and when they become minorities, they'll want a voice, and nobody will listen and laugh at them. It almost sounds like that sentence was supposed to end with just like they did the blacks.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. But I mean, just saying, you got to look at the shoe on the other foot.
But now it's like, let's say that's true. Just like they did the blacks, they laughed at them. They never gave them a voice. Now here we are in this age, and they're giving the blacks the most voice like ever. And what's going on with the blacks? They're at their worst. They're literally at their worst they've ever been ever.
It needs to be like.
But they have a voice.
White guy hollering, what's wrong with the whites? Why we keep losing our country? Why can't we stand up and say, no, we're not going to go to these restaurants and serve alcohol, or no, we going to do this way, or y'all selling, boy, y'all got the most power, but y'all just blend in with the world that y'all don't even have Christian places and traditions that y'all even do in public no more. Y'all just so blended in with them. Yeah.
No,
so,
true.
I mean,
Tell
what
them.
do you expect?
I don't disagree with that.
I'm not even going to, man, that's y'all. I'm trying to bring back these pharaohs.
You don't want to tell them?
I'm a pharaoh. No, the whole story y'all.
But as a pharaoh, you don't have love for the white man.
I mean, I will tell them if I see him. I tell you, I'm talking to you right now.
Nice.
But, I mean, if I come with a conversation out this way, which is rare because everybody got their nose stuck up, but I'll tell them.
Right on, man.
But hey,
last thing. How is it that so last thing here, because I feel like, we may nitpick and disagree, this or that, history, blah, 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 black or white, Pharaoh, Jesus. But here's one thing here's one sort of general kind of topic we agree on. And that's government control, the U.S., the current, established ruling class in the U.S. We don't think they're really, thinking that they don't have the best intentions for the public, right?
Yep.
We can pretty much agree on that we also agree on, can we just loosely call it the military industrial complex and their need for wars and blah, blah, blah. Can we just loosely call it that? We both kind of agree on that too?
Yeah.
So then how is it that we agree on those things. And here comes along one guy who's actually threatening that whole thing, that whole machine that for decades, people have been noticing, talking about, asking something to at least stand up to it, go the other way, no more wars, and you don't like him. You think he's part of the system. You think he's just, I don't know. I can't explain it.
He gets in there and has to pick his cabinet. Last time he picked his cabinet, he fired all of them, and most of them got locked up. Who do you think he's going to pick from? Some people we don't know about. Oh. We know about everybody in politics, and it's going to be more of the same, and they're going to set them up. Everybody wants their own fame and their name on a case or an impeachment. So they'll play him just because, man, I don't.
So he's just doing this for fame?
No,
that's your explanation? Trump is just doing this for fame? To get his name on it? Tell me how.
No.
And that makes sense. Yeah, logic makes sense to you? You're saying no?
A sitting president can't get charged and locked up. So, therefore, he's going to keep running to the last until they tell him he can't. Then he's going to want y'all to rise up again.
Right, and it's all for what? For fame and ego?
I'm saying he's going to get in there and can't do nothing. The Congress and the Senate runs the government. The last time we seen what he do, when somebody show you who they are, believe him. He's going to say, my hands are tied. They burning up the cities. The states won't accept my help. Mitch McConnell's freezing up on camera. He got 3 more years. We got to replace him. We all in disarray.
But you're saying things that are all true. You're saying things that he said that are absolutely true. So I don't know what the diss is here. I know you said it in a funny voice, but it's not a negative to Trump.
He got to get a lot under control right now.
All right.
Right now.
I'm willing to give him a chance. I think he could try again. That's all I'm saying. All right, man. Interesting, Frederick.
All right.
Anything else you want to say before we move the wheels?
Nah, that's it. I'm good. You have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too, Frederick. Always. Take care, man.
All right. Yep.
Take it easy, Frederick. Okay. Take it easy. All right. Oh, yeah. Is that moon? Do you see the moon in the horizon, y'all? Are we flying above? Wait a second. Is that local? Is that a local celestial object, or is that very, very far away? I don't know. I can't tell. When it's over here on the edge of the, is that the supermoon? What's going on here? Or is that the? It's some kind of moon. It's looking full. Light in the sky. Seven 760-515-3855. You hear about the ISS almost got brought down by a lady. First crimes in space ever committed were by ladies. What do I want to do here first? That's pretty much that's all the stuff. That's kind of what's been going on, what people are talking about. Let's do some other stuff, some like funny topics here. Because, who do I want to do first? The ISS. Or wait, hold on.
Call from
Nathan.
Might take this call first, actually. I got Nathan. Nathan on the air. Appreciate it. From Illinois?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, Nathan. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you, man?
All is well, man. Thanks.
Cool.
How you doing today, man? Then we talk about the military. That was you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that advice. Just do nothing.
That's for sure.
I'm not. Because that one caller was making a lot of sense. The guy that was compared to Ron DeSantis.
Yeah. Yeah. He did sound a little like Ron. He was making some sense.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I was like, because I sort of like asked myself, I was like, I mean, like, do I want to like go fight next to a woman? And then I was on YouTube. I saw like some Marine Corps drill instructor that was like a black lady, and she was just like, it looked horrible, dude. I could not tolerate that. But yeah.
I mean, that caller on the show, and anybody who's missed that call, I was talking to Nathan the other day, and he was telling us how, he's considering the military. He's got his life ahead. He's got an open availability, basically, right now. And there was a caller who was making sense about not going. He was warning him not to do it, and he's making so much sense that you'd almost want to take a step back and leave some space. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Why is this other person making sense? You should know for yourself. So don't be too influenced by other people, but you've had a little bit of time to sleep on it. I mean, I guess you're not feeling too confident about the military right now.
Yeah. There's no wars worth fighting right now. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's a tongue twist.
And it's like, I don't know if you'd. I mean, now considering that there's, when you think of the military, American military, I guess you have to fight their wars, and I agree with you. I can't think of anything I'd want to fight. But do people even join for that? I guess people used to I just want to be part of the military, be part of the thing, grow, do good.
Totally. Yeah, but
so it shouldn't be about I want to join because I want to fight this or that war. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's like just like knowing the state of the world right now. It's like kind of obvious there's a lot of conflict brewing just in Africa. We got Ukraine, Russia going on. Like Africa is about to burn itself to the ground. I mean, like if Tony and Mays want to go back, sure, go for it. I don't think it's going to be too
they have a high birth rate.
Yeah. But
interesting, man.
Yeah, I had another thing I wanted to chime in on. I was thinking about, not necessarily thinking, but I just started to connect some dots about aliens, demons, whatever you want to call them, and how heaven and hell, as Jesse sort of taught me, are eternal, but they're also right here, right now. So I just started to ponder on like what hell necessarily is. Perhaps it's becoming developing into an alien or a demon rather than your highest, truest form, which is heaven.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, I like the descriptions of an animal versus a person, and how it's what you're talking about reminds me of this kind of description, or this what's it called? This, could you call it a dichotomy or comparison of a male, right? You're a person, a human in a body, your carnal form. You could, but yet you could be an animal. You could really totally be all nature, body, animal, instinct, or come to a higher consciousness, right? Your personhood, what you're supposed to be, kind of like images of God, etc., right? All kind of buzzwords here, but it makes me think of that relationship, how one can be an animal and yet be this logical, reasoning person.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in with that because, I remember I went back. So I used to be a big pothead, and then I smoked weed a little while ago, like a couple months ago maybe. Mm-hmm. And dude, I was bugging out. I was telling my friends, I was telling them all about aliens and telling them all that stuff, but in a way more intense, kind of skipped out way.
You smoked that new world order. You smoked that new world order, bud. You smoked some of that. You smoked some of that astral projection, bud.
I was on that Frederica second personality, bud.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
Yeah, man.
You reminded me. after pretty much after kind of like, you know, I've been listening. I've been bonded up, JLP'd up, you know, for years now, and I remember pretty much giving up pot too. And then way later, kind of like you, I don't know, I found myself smoking some, and I was tripping. I was like, wait a second, this is what this does to you? I've been this like jaded and I don't know what's it called, low, I don't know, tolerance burned out or whatever that. But this is what I've been doing to myself. I feel crazy. I feel like nutso.
Totally. People say it's not addictive, but it's like it absolutely is. Because I remember when I was doing it back then, it was totally like I was like mentally dependent on it. Like I'd wake up, I'd just be like, roll out of bed. Oh, there's a dab pen. Duh.
Yeah.
Like type of thing. It's no way to live, and I don't believe it should be legal in any fashion unless medically prescribed.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree. I couldn't believe how crazy I felt, and that's what I've been doing to myself. You know, one thing that people don't talk about is, you know, when talking about pot, what's it called? It's a you know, these
psychoactive.
Yeah, that's one of them. But one of the classifications of pot, you know, one of these scientist words, okay, but I think it's quite insightful because it's an effect of pot that never gets talked about. It's one of the, like, you know, and everybody knows what I'm talking about once I tell you. It's not just a psychoactive, but it's a psychotomimetic, meaning it mimics the symptoms of psychosis. That's why when you smoke pot, you get paranoia. Like they say, oh, you're so chill, we get chilled out. But everybody who's ever smoked pot knows that you get a little anxious, you get a little deluded. What do you think that all is? That's all symptoms of psychosis. You're literally inducing psychosis when you're smoking pot.
I've never heard it that way. That's
it's a
crazy.
psychotomimetic, meaning it mimics the symptoms of psychosis.
Dang.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got, man. I mean, other than that, I just wanted to say Hake smokes weed.
What is this rumor? What is this slanderous, libelous lie that's been going around? You guys have been saying that about me, and it's like, that's fine. You guys, I'm a little odd or whatever. But Hake, the Hake report, I don't know why you guys are all saying he's a pothead all of a sudden.
I don't say that about you. I find it so funny because he's like so clean cut. There's absolutely no way he does it. So
yeah, no. That's funny, man.
It's funny. Yeah.
Right on, Nathan.
Well, thank you for taking my call.
No problem, man. Call me again.
Of course. Bye.
Nathan, Illinois. Thank you for that. Reefa madness. Some of you guys are inducing You guys are inducing psychosis in the chat right now. Y'all better do that silent prayer. Hello. I get it. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just really want some. Okay. You better be praying. You better be realizing you have no control over things. You better be giving up and praying. Okay. If you're gonna be all crazy and inducing psychosis, at least can you you know, like, give it up to God a little bit here? Holy, I'll stop. I swear I'll stop. I'll make myself stop. Stop with all that. Okay? Stop being all crazy. Chill out, man. All right. What were we going to do here? Have you ever had weed laced with something that you didn't know? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I may have. But like my friend once said, I had an old friend of mine, pothead guy, he used to do all sorts of other stuff. He would tell me that Nick, I've tried this and that, but pot is the strong stuff. Pot makes me crazy. That's what my friend would say. I think it's true. It's not just this. It's just a little bit of pot. Okay, it's just like a little drink. It's like, I don't know. It's like I don't know. Anyways, it's not stable. Anyways, let's check the cockpit here. We're in the cockpit. Okay, RNAV. I gotta kind of make sure, because like I said earlier in the show, we're attempting a brand new way of landing. And it looks like we got plenty of time to get that all set up. We're still flying over water here. Okay. So true, Court. I think that's what my friend was trying to say. The pot of today ain't the pot of the 60s. That stuff will have you believe in that. The stuff today will have you thinking there's aliens, and you know, you're hitting that new world order, bud. You gotta be careful. I got someone on the air here. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yo, man, Steve Strack.
Steve Strack, how you doing, man?
All's well, man.
Welcome, sir.
You know how you guys were just talking about, like, dissociation? Well, not really dissociation, but, like, psychosis and all that stuff?
Yes.
So you don't even have to do substances to go into psychosis or even go into, like, a dissociative state. So I've called you once before, and I was asking if you ever could do the silent prayer wrong.
I
Do you remember
this.
that?
I totally remember this.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something I'm revisiting it. You know how, like, when you're first aware of something and you're like, I'm not clear on it, but I've been revisiting it this week. And, like, when you do the silent prayer and you do all this meditative stuff, if you're numbing out and you're kind of, like, just freezing, like, you can appear calm, but inside, like, apparently your body's, like, going nuts. And I'm just reading about this.
So true. I think you're right, man. You're sitting there, you're just doing the motions. And you're like, whatever, I prayed today. But what you were doing is you were sitting there all tense. Your body didn't even relax. Your shoulders didn't even drop. You're just like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that.
Right.
Is that kind of what you're talking about?
No, 100%. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and even times where, I mean, I'm still seeing it in myself now too. Like there was like a few times this week, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not actually like letting it pass, because you actually when you are doing the silent prayer, you want to be awake. If you're doing it and you're falling asleep, that's actually something else going on there. But even if you're quote unquote awake and your mind's drifting off and you're kind of spacing out, you're not aware. You're not aware enough to let that stuff pass. That's why it's really funny listening to people talk about like smoking pot and all this other stuff. And I'm like, even the holy grail of doing the silent prayer, you can still do it wrong and not overcome anything.
Interesting, man. I think you're right. I don't think it's wrong what you're saying. I do caution against, this is just your personal, like, we're using these words to communicate, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But on this, you're making me think of something that might be interesting, might help people. Don't, now that you've heard this conversation, don't go around telling yourself, I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing it right. Just go and pray and see what happens. And it's like, wow, I really couldn't sit still. That's beautiful. That's a good thing. You're seeing things, keep going, blah, blah, blah. But so true what you're saying, man. And it's like, they say, that's how you get people who judge potheads, and they'll think, I'm never going to be that unaware. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and anytime you go unaware, regardless of what you're doing, you go unaware, you're opening up your mind to the devil anyway.
Mm-hmm. In fact, you're so right about that. In fact, people who smoked weed can confirm, when you smoke, your thoughts get like louder, which is no different than when you're lost in your head, right?
Interesting. I don't know. I
don't know if you've ever noticed that.
I don't know too much about it. No, so I can't talk too much about that.
Fair enough. We have a clean soul here. Nice,
well, no,
man.
I've tried it,
pot.
but I would never say I was a pothead. I've never gotten that deep into it.
That was my pot laugh, I guess, coming out.
Is that the pot laugh?
Yeah.
That's funny. I just heard the chat say that before. I was like, I didn't even know that was a pot laugh. I never would have picked that out.
I don't think potheads or even former potheads can tell. I mean, until you meet someone that tells you. Like, I met Hake, and Hake was pointing out when people would call in, they would laugh a certain way, and he'd be like, that person smokes pot. And then he'd type in the chat. He'd type in we have an internal chat, and sometimes we type things to Jesse, and he would type, does he smoke pot? And Jesse would ask them, and invariably they'd say yes. And I'm like, dang, Hake's got his finger on the pulse on that, the pot laugh. I don't think people who smoke weed realize they're giving themselves up.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and there's, I think, more than just that, man. I know people who notice things about other people that you would never think you would be able to notice, and it comes from awareness.
I
almost
can
don't want
agree
to.
with you on that one. Yeah.
I'm alluding to something, but I can't say. But you were sorry, I cut you off.
No, I actually know what you're talking about with that. I did. So this was years ago, and I didn't realize how passive I could be, like passive aggressive I used to be. And you know when you just kind of just say something backhandedly, and you're hoping the person gets it, but just directly saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody called me out on it. I'm like, what do you mean passive aggressive? And then the more I kind of was aware of that and I was paying attention to it, I was like, man, I am pretty passive aggressive actually. Like, why don't I just say things just say it instead of dancing around the subject, and just say it straightforward. It was a real interesting moment, to say the least. But to that point though, what you were saying before about, giving the advice and putting people, telling people, oh, you're doing the silent prayer wrong. Like, you got to see it for yourself anyway. Like, this is what I saw. Because one thing that actually this week that I kind of wanted to share with you was, do you know anything about brainwaves by any chance?
I can't say I do.
So you've never heard about how, like, in these meditative circles, people talk about like the alpha brainwaves and the beta brainwaves and the theta brainwaves?
I've heard of those things in context of sleep studies.
Right. So if you took an EEG, which is the electro something of the brain or whatever it is.
Right.
The
EEG,
brainwaves,
yes, I've heard of this.
like, yeah. Whatever your state is. So if you're super, super stressed out and just, balls to the wall, like crazy energy, not in a good way, like you'd be high beta. And that's why it's kind of funny when Jesse talks about the whole beta thing. It kind of correlates to that.
Following.
You're following that, right?
Right. So you literally have your brain waves. You're literally like beta waves. You got too many beta waves or whatever.
Right, because you hear, it's like right now you got a lag on this. So if sometimes like I'm talking over you, you're talking over me. It's not like,
gotcha.
Years ago I used to talk over people all the time and not listen to them. But I bring it up though because apparently this meditative state that people talk about, all this stuff, is in the what's called the quote unquote alpha waves, and that I think I don't know. I can't confirm I've ever what that looks like. I think maybe I've gotten to it. I don't know, but it's really interesting because when you look at all those old texts, and you said it before. I love it how you say just don't disregard what other religions say because it's not Christian, because there still could be some truth in it. Because a lot of these these Buddhist monks, whatever, they're not going out and standing up and fighting, but they know how to get into that state. And I think that's the thing is, to most people, when they think about the silent prayer and they hear Jesse say, like, be still, be in the quiet, let everything pass, like, they may just be so internally just, like, high-strung that the quote-unquote calmness that they're feeling is actually not that relaxed state where everything is just kind of just washing away. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You following that?
I am. And you're right about the Eastern stuff. That's why they'll criticize the silent prayer and say it's like Eastern meditation.
Right.
But they're not realizing that what you were just saying. That's why I don't discount like another religion like that. There's like a truth that's throughout all things.
Right. And I think there's a place in the mind that when you get to it, like you can, like I think when you're present, maybe that's what that alpha whole thingamajig is. When you're in the moment, you're kind of flowing, you're in the zone, you're not really thinking, you're just enjoying what you're doing. That's just a state of the body. It's just according to what they describe, the sources that I've read, it's like you're creative, you're this. And I find that very interesting because the things that they describe line up with if you are really present and like, you do the silent prayer and you just kind of learn to calm down and get out of your head. It's kind of that same mentality. But the difference is the spirit underneath all that stuff. And I think that's where some mindfulness stuff always talks about emotions and being present and recognizing emotions, where I think the difference with Christianity is it's letting all of them pass because there's no emotions in truth. And then you're just existing in that state in the body of, in the spirit.
Totally, man. It makes a lot of sense. You're making me think of how, it's like, this is how I think of it. There's all these religions and denominations and all that. You wonder, why would God do that? Well, the way I see it is God gave us like his word, his true religion, right? And then and man, right? They rewrote it, the Bible, they made different religions and new books and all that, right? In the same way that we could take God's word, religion, and corrupt it and over time dilute it, etc. I think God gave us, for example, God gave man prayer so that they could be connected with him. And then over time we've diluted it, blah, 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 and it's become meditation. It's become hooping and hollering. You know what I mean? All across the world, across the planet, across the flat earth or whatever. And so they all have their own style.
That's where people, they pay more attention to like the physical sensations in the body, and they label that as spiritual when it's like, it's not spiritual. Like that's a sensual experience. Like you're legitimately focusing on the feeling of it. And I think that's the biggest difference between like what, Jesse's message is, doing the silent prayer and all that stuff. It's, this is not a sensual thing. Like this is not a feeling.
So I gotta say, so true. I think that's why people like pot and all that. It's a sensual experience. You feeling like you're there. You're feeling like you're close. You're feeling like you're meditating. Like, you know what I mean? I've described.
Yes, I don't know. I'm not done. I've not gone on on the pothead train.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
It really does feel like, especially if you're this kind of person thinking about these things. I know a lot of people who stayed that way, potheads or psychedelics, and they end up believing in God, and they believe they get closer to God through those drugs. And I think that's why, because they feel it, and it feels like getting closer to God.
Right, and that's like, I know when I used to, this is the last thing, is when I used to go to concerts a lot, especially metal shows, I used to mosh all the time. Like, that was my thing. Nice. And I used to explain to people why I liked doing it, because I used to say, it's like this like spiritual feeling, I feel so present in my body and this and that, but that catharsis, that fake release, thinking like you've let go of the emotions, you've let it all out, you left it on the floor, as I used to say.
Cathartic.
It's just, again, it's cathartic as nonsense, but it's a feeling on top of a feeling. It doesn't, you didn't remove anything on your own. Like, you can't remove anything on your own.
So true. And you're going to need another mosh.
Yeah, man.
I need to clean my soul with another mosh.
Yeah, it never changed anything. I mean, it just gave me like a manic high for a few days, but then after that, you just go back to the same thing.
And you and wasn't there always this kind of like spirit of camaraderie and union and togetherness in the mosh pit?
Yeah,
you would tell each other, oh, when someone falls, you pick them up. We're family. Pick them up. Don't let them get hurt. Yeah, we're pushing each other around, but we're also protecting each other. You know what I mean? There was always that there.
Yep.
But these people didn't care about me. I remember I was at it was a Warped Tour. You ever been to one of those?
I have. I've been plenty of times. Yeah.
I was at a Warped Tour, and I was crowd surfing, and when the song ended, they all dropped me. Just because the song ended, you don't just drop a homie. What the? But that's how.
No love in the crowd, man. No love in the crowd.
I know, man. Right on, Steve. Last thing you want to say before we move the wheels? I'm gonna show the people a video. I believe I'm on YouTube at a Warped Tour.
No, I gotta jump off my phone to watch this one. So I'm jumping off to see this thing. So.
Let's see if we can find it. Right on, Steve.
All right.
Appreciate that. Call me again.
Later.
760-515-3855 if you want to jump in. So, I believe it was 2010. I believe it was 2010 Warped Tour. I may have shown this video on stream before. I may have shown you guys, but I believe I'm on camera for a moment, crowd surfing at this concert at the Vans Warped Tour in Toronto. I think it was Toronto, Vans Warped Tour. It was some like hardcore. It was like a hardcore like screamo electronic band called Attack Attack. Oh man, yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Okay, hold up. Let me see if we can find the moment. Have I ever shown you guys this? Nick is the keyboardist from Ramstein. Have I ever shown you guys this video? Hashtag emo Nick. Oh no! I don't want to start that up again. I mean, I'm not against emo Nick, but I want to. Anyways, look. This is 2010 Warped Tour, I believe. Let's see if we can find me here. I'm in here somewhere.
So how many of you guys have seen us before?
I had never seen them before. He's like, how many of you guys have seen us before? This is so Nick.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh, hold up. We need to, you know what? I'm going to be serious about the landing, all right, y'all? And I don't need to be getting all distracted, and I can't make it, and it's a soul plane landing, okay? I'm not saying it won't be a soul plane landing, but at least let's set myself up for success here. I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I hope you guys understand. I'm pausing reality itself. Okay? So that we may watch. We may find the little anchor baby. I think I might have been 15 maybe. 2010. I was 16. I was 15 or 16. Okay.
Came back.
Warped Tour 2010. We're going back.
Just kidding. That was a joke. You get it? You find that person.
Oh, hold up.
You have to use teamwork for this shit.
That girl. Hold up. One of these girls was on my shoulder.
Person, you put your fucking arm around them and give them a high fucking five. You crazy motherfucker. All right.
We were doing chicken fights, and I had some girl on my shoulders.
Here's where I need all you crazy motherfuckers. There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna find me. Oh, there she is. There she is. That girl. I'm under this girl right now. I'm telling you right now. That girl's name was, what the heck? Who was she? I think her name was Dagmar. It was a very odd name. Dagmar. See if I can find her on Facebook. Holy. Oh, Lord. Should I not be showing this on stream? FN. Dagmar, okay, look. Let's get back to the video here. Let's stop Oh no, I don't mean to be showing you this. Am I doxing someone here? I shouldn't have done that. I don't talk to this person anymore. This is a very long time ago. So, I'm somewhere. Hold on. That was wrong. Sorry, y'all. This is so bad. See? Look. I'm not lying. See, look. Hold on, let me move my camera out of the way. I know it's pixelated, but that's her. That's her, I swear. See, she looks Asian. Huh? I'm not making this up. This is so silly. Alright, let's find me. I'm right here. I swear I'm right here. Boom! The Anchorbaby appears. Why am I showing you guys this again? That's the Anchorbaby, y'all. There he is. Big curly fro. I'm gonna show Jesse this footage. Whatever. That's the Anchorbaby. That's funny. Why am I showing you guys this? Where were we? LMAO. Nick, that hair. I had a big old afro. I was 15, okay? Come on. I could smell this video. Yep. I had curls. I had the curls. I've heard mosh pits are fun. That's funny. Street cred. Nick was emo, LOL. I couldn't be that emo because my hair was curly. I could never be that emo. And I know it's like, oh, you could straighten it, but that's too far for me. I could never really truly be emo due to the Chicano hair. Although I'm here walking around California, here in LA, SoCal, I see plenty of Chicano emos, cholo goths. Okay, there's plenty of y'all out here. All right, let's do something else. Oh, Johnny G, we got 94 babies. 94 babies. What's up, 94? Funny stuff. 760-515-3855. What shall we do next? I've been meaning to show you this story of this ISS, the International Space Station, how it almost came down due to one woman. See if I can show you here. Well, they're saying the first crewed mission to Mars should be all female. Some are saying this. It's about fairness. It's about using every possible advantage. I don't understand what they're trying to say there. I can think of many disadvantages. So the first crewed mission to Mars should be all female. Well, Raw Egg Nationalist on Twitter saw this. He thought he'd bring a little warning to the whole, topic here. Remember the baseless claim that a female astronaut drilled a hole in a spacecraft docked at the International Space Station because she wanted to go home early? We're talking about the story of Serena Auñón Chancellor. Auñón. Hold on. Here's that article. 45 over a baseless claim that she drilled a hole. Russia is threatening criminal charges against married NASA astronaut. You ever heard about this? Okay. Roscosmos, the Russian space agency, has threatened to press charges against a NASA astronaut who it claims drilled 2-millimeter hole in a Soyuz MS-09 vehicle that was docked with the International Space Station in 2018. The agency recently completed its investigation into what it deemed was a sabotage, citing Serena Auñón Chancellor, a crew member of the ISS at the time of the incident, as the culprit. And the story is that she wanted to go home. As soon as she got up there, it was not fun. Allegations have been handed over to Russian law enforcement, allowing Roscosmos to announce the possibility of criminal charges. And so this story was like a mess because people were saying this is not true and that it's sexism because they were saying it's that she has a boyfriend and that she's married. She was Auñón Chancellor married to Jeff Chancellor. And according to the report, the Russians are claiming there were multiple holes drilled by someone unfamiliar with the module design and without proper supplies to ensure accurate drilling in low gravity. Russian cosmonauts quickly plugged the hole and restored pressure after the pressure drop was identified. So this is a big deal up there. A pressure drop, there's a hole. This whole thing's going to come apart. After the hole was sealed, they did a report, and the hole appeared to have been punctured using a drill. Russia opened up an investigation and shared allegations in August 2019 that Auñón Chancellor made the hole. NASA responded by saying it does not comment on medical matters, but disputed the claim. Okay? And so people came out, I support Serena. I support Serena. Allegations against Auñón were made. They report it would not have been possible for the damage to happen on Earth. If there are any holes, then the pressure in the ship would immediately drop. It discusses the mental health of Auñón Chancellor, suggesting this took a drastic action to speed up her return to Earth. And so here's some of the reports apparently from people familiar with the matter. Okay? Let me pull up a picture of Onion Chancellor as I read some of these alleged goings on of the ISS, the International Space Station, with Onion Chancellor. Okay. So these are the alleged going-ons. She was paranoid about her ex and GF at home. She wanted more attention and fame. She didn't like doing any of her work and demanded being excused. Lots of little things trying to make life hard, to be forced to go home a year early. She decided space was too much within a week. Hey, wow, Hassan in the chat. What's up, man? This culminated in the bathroom. This culminated in the bathroom, and how NASA and toilets are sexist because they aren't comfortable and there's boys always around. NASA said the toilet was designed with ladies in mind and it's uncomfortable to boys too. She was enraged and demanded a toilet be designed and sent up for women and women only. Wow, demands. Bring me a toilet that works just for me, or bring me. She was enraged. NASA stated this will take up to a year and hundreds of millions of dollars, but they'll start. Apparently. See, the female mafia, they'll get what they want. She did not like that and demanded to be sent home immediately. I'm not comfortable. I don't want to be here anymore. NASA responded by easing her duties to basically nothing, and letting her know there's a taxi scheduled in 9 months, and that they have a few women power missions planned for her to make her famous, even a first ever woman outside repair without a man doing it instead. This was not enough. She wanted a rocket home now. Hassan coming in the chat yelling, wow, Hassan, don't miss his, Trump Force One. Hassan, check it out. We flying Trump Force One. We got Hassan in the chat. What's up, Hassan? Don't miss his next episode coming up next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Should be good. But we're talking about, if you missed it, Hassan, we're talking about this woman, Serena Onion Chancellor. She was sent up to the ISS. She ended up sabotaging, at least there's claims from the Russians that she sabotaged, drilled a hole in the space station so that she could be sent down home early, endangering the lives of all. I wonder if Hassan is going to talk about space. I wonder if he believes in space. So she flipped. She refused to bathe, use the restroom properly, letting it jam, letting piss spray all over the place, according to this. Ever since the creation of the ISS, it had been the cleanest, freshest smelling environment ever. For one very important reason: if you're going to be in an enclosed space, floating through space for over 100 years, you cannot replace your atmosphere with a fresh one. Every smell is forever. The ISS, pleasant environment. It was pleasant until now. So she ruined the ISS smells.
Call from.
And it goes on. I got a caller, in fact. Caller, you're on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
It's Kedrick from Texas.
Kedrick, Texas. How you doing, man? You're on the air.
I'm chilling. Yeah, I was kind of listening along while you're talking about this woman on the space station.
Yeah.
And it just kind of reminded me of this old saying back in the day, like pirate days and stuff. There was like a superstition that you don't bring women on ships.
Oh, what do you like? Okay, interesting.
Like pirates, and all the way back to like Christopher Columbus, like people going to see the New World and stuff. Yeah, it was bad luck. Like, you just don't bring a woman on ship. And I'm talking, these guys are like, sweaty pirate types. Right. They haven't gotten any women in a long time, but they wouldn't even keep one on just for the, for that kind of thing.
So all these shows, I just saw this like episode on Magellan, and traversing the world. And there was women. There was a few women there. I don't know if that was historically accurate. Yeah,
it's making me wonder too. Like with the first crew to Mars should be all women. That sounds like it might be doomed from the start if that's something they're really seriously thinking about. It probably should be all guys.
I think so. It should be the best. It should be the best of the best. But even if the best of the best, I could think of negatives of having women, even if they're great at what they do.
Oh yeah, well I mean,
just
okay,
co-ed
so
up
me and you are
there
guys.
for a long time. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right.
I'm not even saying it's just like all guys can even get in a space station or whatever. Like me and you probably aren't fit to go to Mars or whatever, right? So when we're talking about guys that would go to Mars, we're talking about like 0.1% of like the whole male population. So like, what type of girl can even compete with that? Like at all, even if it's the best woman, they're probably not at that level. Like it's just such a improbability. You know what I mean? That
Totally.
could really be beneficial in any way.
And you know. And it's like, if they want to have that conversation, you know, we can't have it honestly because their whole thing is, just put women no matter what, even if it all crashes. So it's like, okay, psychos, I don't even want to have this conversation with you. You know what I mean?
Let them suffer.
I don't even want to have this conversation. That maybe women can do this or that because you guys don't care about the truth and doing things right. You just want to put women there.
I
don't want to have that conversation.
So if you don't have that conversation with them, and then they go and do it, and it ends horribly, and something like that were to happen, are we as men kind of culpable for letting them go do that? Should we have been like, stop?
No, I mean, I'm happy to have the conversation that they shouldn't, but they want to have the conversation like the article I just read. They want to say that, all women, we need an all women crew. And if they want to have the conversation of, well, maybe women can do some things that men can do, I don't even want to go there because they don't care about doing things right.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, so no.
Yeah, I don't even know about the whole going to Mars thing anyway. I just space is kind of gay and fake. I don't know.
I don't know. It may be fatigué, which means fatigued in French, but we used to say it in class because it sounds funny. But but you know, before even going there on space is fake or not, where are the pioneers? You know, they're saying, oh, we're going to go to Mars. But the people who came just across the ocean to get to America, many died, and they knew they were going to die, and they knew it was going to be tough. Where are those pioneers today? I don't know if these Reddit bros are willing to die on their way to Mars.
That's a really good point. Just from Spain and Portugal and Britain, like the amounts of people who traverse the seas was pretty high in number, but then you think about the amount of people who actually have even been to space. Like it's such a small number compared to like all the, you know, explorers like you were talking about. Or just to have one ship, you had so many people on it, you know, manning it.
And so many died.
Like,
what was it?
Yeah, Magellan, who even knows how to...
Magellan started off with how many men? Magellan started with 240 men. And when he finished his voyage, he came back with only 18.
See, you got to ask yourself, like right now, on this Earth that's still alive, how many people that are still alive on this Earth have even been to space right now? Is it even 200 people?
I don't know, and I don't think so. I really don't know, first of all. But where are these pioneers willing to get on a ship knowing that only 18 may make it? Like, where are these brave pioneers? I don't see them.
I'll let them go first.
Yeah.
They tell me.
How it is. You tell me how's the water. You go first.
Yeah.
They'll get AI and robots to do. No, I don't know. I'm just joking.
Are you gonna do a Glizzy stream tonight?
Glizzy stream tonight? I don't think not tonight, my friend.
That when you thought about it when you showed that thing earlier with the hot dog water. That guy's a menace for that. I don't know.
You saw that?
Yeah, I was like, what? Where did you even find that video?
I don't even know. I just come across Glizzy content now. It's just like the plane stuff. Once I started doing the plane show, the internet just started feeding me all sorts of plane news and interesting stuff. Now I did the VR
so you're in the
stuff.
hot dog algorithm.
I hit the hot dog algorithm. I'm telling you. I'm getting hit with all sorts of Glizzy content. And of course, I got to show all you.
Yeah. Word. Well, I just wanted to holler at you, but
thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'll get back to just watching the show.
Thank you, sir. Call me again.
All right, later.
Take care. Moving the wheels. All right. Okay. Where were we? Magellan started his voyage with 240 men. Came back with 18. All right, y'all. I'm going to need y'all to kick back and relax a little bit here. Because I need to brush up on my RNAV landing procedures if we're going to get down there alive. So let me just make sure the plane's flying all right. Kick back, vibe out a little bit. We're going to make sure everything's A-okay for the landing here. We're getting close. Princess Juliana International Airport in the island of Saint Martin in the Caribbean. Hold on. You're enjoying the flight so far. We should be descending nicely, approaching the island of Saint Martin. Saint Martin? All right, so I think we can relax a little bit. I think we're... Oh, there it is. There it is. This is what I was looking for. On my screen is my first altitude requirement in my RNAV approach to this runway. You see that 18,000 there? Beautiful. Beautiful. The computer should be handling some of this descent as we continue the show here. So we got a little bit of time here before we got to focus on this landing. You know what's funny? The media is complaining about a certain group, a percentage of the population that's doing a lot. It's a small percentage of people in the country doing the most of a particular activity. Disproportionately doing something. You guys following me? We got a certain percentage of the population that's committing a certain percentage of a certain activity in this country disproportionately. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about these meat eaters, beef eaters. I'm talking about carnivores. Just 12% of Americans, mostly men, are eating half of our beef supply. Huh. Imagine that. That's disproportionate. Oh, you guys are already in the chat. Yeah, disproportionate. It's ridiculous. We got to do something about this. When something's disproportionate like this, I mean, Teresa, what's up, Teresa? She's asking, did it feel weird to crowd surf? It felt funny. LOL, seriously, fake news. The media is starting to get wise about disproportionate percentages here. Oh, Teresa's talking to someone else. Who's at 12? Do we got any 12 percenters in the chat? We got culprits in the chat, 12 percenters in the chat. Some of the 12% is my audience, huh? What a mess. Someone get the FBI stats on these people. Hello? Can we get an FBI stats on this? Nah, we don't want to do that. The ADL might go against you if you start talking about the 12 percenters who are eating all the beef. Don't they know they should be eating the bugs? Don't they know that beef is destroying everything? Anna in the chat says, please. Women too. Come on. It's women too. Right on, Anna. How you doing? Beautiful. What else do we got? We got some just random stuff now as we're kind of landing. Hope you've enjoyed the show so far. What should I show you next? This is wholesome. Should we do something wholesome? Should we do something wholesome maybe? I got two wholesome things here. This farmer who lives off-grid survives without running water, electricity, just living off the land. And also, oh yeah, the Vanity Fair. I never got to show you this. Just watching voice actors. You guys know I like doing the Trump impression. And I was watching Rob Paulsen. Rob Paulsen, who's the voice of Pinky in Pinky and the Brain. He's reacting to impressions. This is a wholesome little video. Since we don't have too much time. Okay. We don't have too much time before we got to focus on the landing here. This is wholesome. I love this guy.
Yes.
Is he dead?
I think he could
Rob
go
Paulsen dead?
very far into the depths of...
Rob Paulsen is not dead. 67 years old.
I think he could go very far into the depths of Otto's voice, coming up with more Otto.
Zoink!
You ought to be in pictures. Yeah, that was a funny comedy joke.
Beware! No, it's me, Yakko. What is on your mind?
Hi, Rob Paulsen here, better known to you as Yakko Warner from the Animaniacs. Hello, Vanity Fair.
I don't know anyone that could do any of Rob Paulsen's voices. Just being Robert Paulsen. Very unique.
Other characters from Animaniacs include Dr. Otto von Scratch.
His name is Robert Paulsen. It says Rob Paulsen here, but anyways.
Sniff. Yeah, that is me too. Pinky. from Pinky and the Brain.
Nerf.
From Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. Carl.
Oh wait, no, I think I could do Carl. I think I could do Carl. Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron. Hot Jimmy. Wait, hold on. Let me get the Carl. Let me get it right. Hot Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. Do you think I should join Antifa? Oh, Jimmy. You think Antifa's a radical group?
Oh, Weezer, are you gonna finish that croissant?
I was also the box ghost. Beware!
A couple of Ninja Turtles, Raphael from the original show, and then Donatello from a later iteration. 50% of the Ninja Turtles in one old guy from Michigan. And by the way, thank you, all you parents who bought action figures, because as a result of your largesse, my kids' teeth are straight today. Today, that is Pinky, is going to review some impressions of...
Frederick, did you like my Carl Weezer? Is that what you're laughing at?
Rob Paulson's characters. Let's see what happens. Point.
Ooh, they give me that saucy librarian look.
It's not the same. The animation is what really brings it to life. Okay, the voices are great, and then the animation just great stuff.
They give me that saucy
Trying a bit too hard at the start, but the croissant part was great.
librarian look. You know, old bookish. Then take them off and let your hair down. It's like this. Roller skates, crash, hurt, hippies, park. Help, fireman, carry, drop, oops, pick up, lab, put him over there. Let's
Getting pretty close to our landing. Hold on. Yeah, we got time.
Nose and face paint. Nerf. Point.
Wow. That was quite excellent, although I didn't quite understand a lot of what you said. Part of the trick is being able to speak in a way in which conveys the character and the sensibilities of the character, but also you do have to be able to be relatively understandable. So even though...
Yeah, go hard on him. That was horrible.
La, 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 la. Fun, silly, willy. No. You still have to say, egad, brain, I think so, but if they called them sad meals, no one would buy them. Enunciate, because we have to understand your stupidity. Point. But that certainly wasn't for lack of energy. You did a really great job, and you said, Narf, a point, quite well. A
I'm
really
not even
great
try
job
a
of moving
Narf.
around. A lot of actors gesticulate a lot.
We gesticulate right in front of God and everybody.
So all of that stuff is great. But you know what? The bottom line is, man, you were having a great time. And that's what this is about. Continue to embrace your silliness.
I think so, Brain. But well...
I would love to get a brain impression, like, spot on. Now, that would be funny.
Gonna find a duck in the hose at this hour.
I think so, Brian. But if they called them sad meals, no one would buy them. I think so, Brian.
just did that.
But it'd be Snow White and the Seven Samurai. I think so, Brian. But burlap shapes be so. I think so. But where we would find an open tattoo parlor at this time of night?
Oh, really nice, excellent responses. Non sequiturs, those are called. My friend, just raise your head. You should be talking into the mic. I understand that that's a technical thing because you're reading from down here, but easily fixed. Bring it up here. We could hear more of your fabulous pinkiness if you let us hear it. But your tone and your temperament on the, I think so, Brian, but if they called them sad meals, no one would buy them, was spot on.
Take over the world. Yeah, this was definitely, like, I was young. It might have been a little bit before me. I'm 94, baby, but I definitely grew up watching some of this stuff. Warner Brothers, 𝒂𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, and definitely Pinky in the Brain. I shouldn't be ADD right now, but anyone remember Freakazoid? I don't know why that burned into my mind as a kid.
Just act natural, Pinky.
Right, Brain. La 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 la. Zord. Laugh.
Legend. Legendary.
Ready to go, Brain?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
We're going to run the picture and you read the copy. Animaniacs 406-859, take one.
You did both characters. I got no business doing that. You're way better than I am at the brain. For our purposes, we're here to discuss your pinkiness. And it was quite good. In fact, right at the beginning, you got that sort of soft R because Pinky had this overbite in which you have trouble producing the sound of R. Really, Brain. Egad, Brain. And you
Nick, do your next bit.
got that right away. I think Pat Warburton said something very important on an
We're watching this, yo.
version of this.
Alias.
He said, just like
Alias. Yeah, you're on the plane. Too bad.
any other acting choice.
What are we watching? This is Rob Paulson, the voice of Pinky.
Make your
It's a little
choices
wholesome video.
decisive and clear. Even if it's wrong in the audition, it shows the producers you're thinking. You're making clear, thoughtful choices. You commit to that choice. And that's what I did in Pinky. Often, you can have a dialect either add or subtract one, and it changes everything. I can do a thing like this for me, having a broken voice, but then when I take the dialect off and I just talk like this, I'm all of a sudden a little different. My voice is still cracking in the same way, but if I add a southern thing to it, now all of a sudden I'm Pat Buttram. I've gone from being this guy here to this guy, and now it's got 3 different characters, man. And people
That's gold. Any voice actors? Any future voice actors? That's gold.
think I'm a goddamn genius. Well, I ain't. I'm just not afraid to look like an idiot.
I think that's the best advice ever. If you want to do voice acting, you got to be unafraid to look like an idiot.
Good night, everybody. Hi, it's me, Yakko. Yeah, I was born in a water tower. But you know, a lot of people are. I like to think that it's a good thing.
Wow. That's pretty good, because he did the whole helium thing without any chemical inducement that we know of. He was
That's like a conspiracy that he would use helium to do the Yakko voice.
actually improvising lines, and you know what? That's when you know you got something, because I can talk like Yakko Warner all damn day. And I don't know if
That's
that's
such
a
a
good thing or a
difficult
bad
voice.
thing, but it certainly makes for the authenticity of the character. You got that, and already got the placement down. Sadly for you, I've already done it, and I'm still doing it. So now you take all that wonderful skill you have and then create your own characters. That's how it starts.
What does this remind you of?
Girls.
What does this remind you of?
Girls.
Hello.
Warner Brothers was degenerate from the beginning.
Girls.
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 Hey, you're the one who showed me all the sexy pictures.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Well
Sexy pictures? What are you talking about?
done, my young friend.
He did a pretty good job. He's got the tone of Yakko, so the past 2 talented actors,
They've done a real good job of being able to squeeze their voice. And by the way, when I auditioned for Yakko, that's exactly how I did it.
he seemed like he was a little bit nervous or self-conscious, which is utterly understandable. You know, had trouble coming up with things to say. But when you did...
Hey, what's up, Zeus? Alive and well, clearly in the chat.
It was very good. And also remember, you're going to have a script. When you're in a circumstance like Animaniacs, we already knew we were going to have fantastic writers. So it was up to me as an actor to raise my level. And so I would improvise and try something where when Yakko is coming up with an answer, maybe he goes, I don't think so. Well, that turned out to be a thing. So now there are like 100 examples of Yakko going, just because it was something I threw in. It wasn't genius. It was inspired because I already knew.
Bye, it's Shannon. Good night.
What we had was great. My body of work
Thanks for being here.
is a great example of how other people...
When someone leaves the stream early, I guess they're just taking a parachute and jumping off, huh? It's all water beneath us right now, so good luck. Yo, it's Shannon.
Made me look and sound way better.
We paint ceilings, and only ceilings. We don't paint floors because they're beneath us.
I don't care about the Yakkos. Show me another pinky.
Ceilings, and nothing but ceilings. We don't paint floors because they're beneath us. If I were to say to you, give me a few more ups and downs.
Scratch and sniff from the anime.
This is hair! This is hair! It is...
Chemicals, which did a
Carl
pretty damn
Weezer.
good job. That was a great example of detail and nuance.
This is my favorite.
No, I'm Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron. I'm the llama guy. I have the inhaler.
That's pretty good.
My mommy rubs my tummy and I go nanny, 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 nanny.
Okay, firstly, this guy takes it, he's doing cosplay as Carl Weezer, which did a pretty damn good job. That was a great example of detail and nuance. He used the fact that Carl Weezer has an inhaler, but what he didn't do was have a lazy L like Carl. He says,
Oh, Jimmy. All right, y'all. I got to focus on something here. I've been setting up some stuff here as we're watching this lovely video. Okay. Lord, I don't have much time. I basically need to learn something in the few minutes we have. I need to freshen up on your pilot needs to freshen up on something here. Bear with me. I know we're in the middle of our descent here, and this is a little bit of critical timing right now, but I kind of need to know this.
Area navigation depends solely upon...
I need to know what buttons to press.
We'll arm the flaps again. Okay, so now...
Everybody calm down. We're all learning together. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of critical for the landing. No need to panic.
We are headed towards that final fix. I'm going to turn on the approach phase. And you can see that the final approach has been armed just there.
How much time do we have?
It's calling sync rate then for some reason. And we'll pop the gear down. The flaps as well. Now, what you should get here, first of all, there are a couple of things incorrect. So it says...
Why, Anchorbaby, why?
Cat 3 single. That wouldn't be displayed on an RNAV. You should also see here are purple, not diamonds like you would on an ILS, but you should have a vertical and horizontal guidance.
I don't have that.
System.
What do I do if I don't have that?
Now, I have found, actually, if you do turn on the ILS info, which I told you not to turn on earlier...
Okay.
See how there is a purple brick rather than a purple magenta diamond? Well, that is effectively telling us that we are on the correct descent path.
What do you mean, Carver? How do you think pilots become pilots?
That should have come up automatically.
Oh.
With the RNAV approach.
There it is, fellas. There it is, passengers.
Turn on this. And
there's the
strangely
square.
Enough, if I turn
That's
it
good.
off, it now remains. So there's a handy little bug for you to...
Okay, so it's a bug. Okay.
To know about.
On-the-job training.
And there you can see... There you can see the airport in front of us.
Okay, okay. When do you take autopilot off?
And yeah, it's very, very similar to ILS, but obviously there's a little bit more detail involved with regards to the altitude constraints. And if you do have a Navigraph subscription, having the charts in front of you is very, very handy.
Okay. All right, y'all. We'll give it a shot. Okay, we'll give it a shot. We're going to give it a shot live here. No need to panic. Don't look down. But it looks like we got a little bit of time here before that. Okay. Should we do Takia Young? Nah. Some woman got shot. Pregnant woman. Just in time, huh? I don't really see a lot of noise about it, though. Are people protesting? Black woman, pregnant woman killed, shot by police. I'm not really seeing noise and protest, though, so I don't really want to give it attention. It's a shame. But basically, she tried driving her vehicle off, and with an officer in front of the vehicle, pretty much running him over. He shot once and she died. She was pregnant. Had 2 kids in the car. Shall we do another wholesome video? Or should we do a call?
From?
I got a call on the air. Your name and where are you calling from? Hey, caller, you're on the air. Name and where are you calling from?
My name is Karen Williams. I'm calling from Queens, New York.
Karen, New York. Welcome. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Nick? How you doing?
I'm just fine. It's nice to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you. I'm like, who am I going to call? Who am I going to call? I'm calling Nick.
Nice.
I've been sitting here listening to you since like 7:15, 7:30.
Nice.
Of what time it is. I'm like, let me call this dude and tell him what's on my mind.
We'll say what's on your mind? Yeah, please.
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Absolutely.
I used to watch Pinky and the Brain all the time.
Nice.
I love that show. And I'm like, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other is insane.
Yes. I love it. Definitely brings back memories.
Which one is insane?
Say again?
Which one is insane?
Brain is.
Which one is? No.
I know that's the joke, right? That Pinky is the insane one and Brain is the smart one, and Pinky's always foiling Brain's plans, and is always in the way of almost just about taking over the world. But part of the show, one of the like subtexts of the show is that actually Pinky is actually really smart. But it's
which one is really smart? Come on, think about it.
It's kind of the subtext of the show. Totally, Brain. Brain is the genius.
No, it's not the Brain. Pinky is the sane one. I'm telling you, watch the show again.
He's the insane one or the sane one?
Okay, it's Pinky and the Brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, they want you to believe that Brain is the smart one and
right.
Pinky is the dumb one, but Pinky is the smart one.
Exactly. He's like the unlikely smart one. It's on the surface looks stupid, but says some pretty intelligent things if you're paying attention.
Exactly. If you can recall some of the episodes, Brain came up with some ideas, then Pinky saved the whole day.
Exactly. That's the subtext. You don't want to just be a brainy intellectual. It's actually the simple-minded that gets it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Karen, I heard your call on the Hake Report the other day.
What happened?
And it was a nice call. Nothing happened. It was a nice call. I remember you said something about me checking you.
Yeah, and I told Hake, I said, Nick is my new boyfriend. Y'all gonna have to talk about that.
Hold up, back up. But I enjoyed our conversation. Right? It was no hard feelings.
Not at all. Not at all. I realized something, and I know you're not gonna try to understand where I was coming from because you're a man, and you belong to Satan. Satan's your daddy. Yeah, that's why you listen to the woman, because Satan is your daddy.
Whoa.
You tell Jesse I said that.
Oh.
You tell him Jesse I said that.
I'm gonna not say that to him, and I hope nobody does, because I'll be in trouble.
Yeah, Jesse be like, putting something on it all. Oh man, it's a pleasure. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem, Karen.
I'm sitting here. I work all week, Nick, and I get here, and your show, My Blast, is on Friday night.
Nice.
And I really appreciate you. I really thank you for having the show and talking with me.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
It's a blessing.
We relax. We do our thing Fridays. We have fun.
Yes. I want to call Jesse and I called Hake. I try to get everybody in. I'm going to call Hassan, but, he just started. So
For sure. We'll hear you. You're on the airwaves. You're around. I wonder if you're going to try and make Hassan or someone your boyfriend.
I'm a bad girl sometimes.
Nice.
Sometimes. But heaven is working on me. I'm in my darkness. It's okay.
Well, Karen, your support's always appreciated.
Yeah, I wanted to say something else. Do you have more time?
By all means.
It's something you were speaking about earlier with a caller about being spiritual, and I forgot to call his name. He was talking about being spiritual, or and I made a comment in the chat or whatever. But it's like when you realize that you're not just human, it's a spiritual thing going on, and you see that, and it's amazing to me that Jesse Lee Peterson knows this kind of information. it's kind of scary and dangerous. And then when I listen to Hake and I listen to you, Hassan is coming in, Sean is there, Chris is gone, and I'm listening to you men, and I'm trying to pick up spiritual lessons from each of you as a man to a woman. I am a woman. I was born female, and I'm proud of it. And I'm also brown skinned, 5'4", 145 pounds, trying to lose, if Hake want to know that. And I just want to know, like, if there's anything you would teach a female, a woman, not just a female, but a woman.
Is there something you have in mind?
I'm asking you, like, what would you teach her?
I don't know if I really have anything to teach. You know what I mean? I don't know if I have that kind of teaching. I'm not sure what you mean. Like, if I have any lessons or anything for a woman specifically. Like, I'm learning about life myself. And so, I don't know. I don't really think about myself in that way.
You should. You know, as a female, you know, if you believe in anything, Jesse is trying to put out there for people to learn, to find their spirits back to the way we are all supposed to be. And you're close there with him. So I'm just wondering,
you know what?
Like, if you're getting anything from Jesse and the real teachings of the spiritual war, if you would understand what kind of spiritual position
I think I understand your question.
As a man, not just as a human being, but as a
I think I understand your question. Honestly, Karen, what you're describing, what Jesse's pointing the way to and all that is not something that I have a unique connection to or anything. It's available to all people, including you as a woman, right? You're saying, oh, do I have anything for you as a man and all that? But what Jesse's pointing the way back to is something that's available to you right now, you know, through stillness, through prayer, and through self-examination. It's nothing unique, nothing behind a man-shaped gate, unless you have a husband, right? But that's a little different. It's nothing like that, and it's very simple, and it starts with all the stuff that we talk about: forgiveness, and self-examination, right? That's where it starts, and the lessons the lessons you're looking for are beyond that, right? I can't even tell you what they are. I wouldn't be able to teach you anything or show. I can just kind of point you the way, the same way Jesse pointed the way for me. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, let me describe what I mean. In that, I can point you the way in the sense that the way Jesse pointed the way to me: forgive your parents, pray, discover yourself, and you'll understand the world. The answers you're looking for are on the other side of that, and I can't take you there. And I'm still discovering myself in my own life. You know what I mean?
No.
As in, I don't have a lesson. Unless you have a question for me, I don't mind conversing.
I asked you the question. Okay, you answered my question, but do you understand as a man that you are wonderfully made, and there are a lot of things that's from within inside of you that you have to teach other people, especially any and all female women, girls that comes in your association? Do you understand? Do you know what a spiritual position means?
Absolutely. And I understand that that's the position of men. Absolutely. The thing is that most men aren't that. And so, although you say the man has this position and has all these things they can teach.
Wait, go back. You just said most men. I'm asking you about you.
Exactly. I'm too. That's me too. I'm discovering things myself. And if there's anything I've discovered that I can impart, I will. But otherwise, it's really, God is working on me the same way he's working on you, is what I'm trying to describe. Say, what was your
God
question?
is that? I said, which God is that? You said God is working on you.
The same, yeah, the
Like
same
he's
way you'd be
working
working
on me. And do you understand that there are different gods?
Oh, I'm talking about the one true God, right?
From where?
You know, God above all. If I have to describe him anymore.
You're excited, making out like that. What you wearing? Take off your clothes.
Okay. Well, back it up, Karen. We're talking about
Listen,
the spirit
don't hang
here.
up on me. Don't hang
That
up
has
on me.
nothing- No, I won't hang up on you, man. Calm it down.
You're excited.
Too excited.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit
Take
rebukes
your
thee.
shirt off.
No, this is exactly what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
you know
a
what?
female.
You know what?
I'm-
I do
I'm
have a
even-
lesson. You know what? I do have a lesson. I do have a lesson for the females
is
from a
it?
man.
What is it?
Yeah, I got you one. That's no way for a lady to be acting. How about that?
Why not? What am I saying? Acting.
You're telling me to take off my shirt. And I
Yeah,
know it's
take it
funny.
off.
We have fun. You're a supporter. I don't want to, but you're asking me for a lesson, and I got one for you.
You want me to talk about all the spiritual stuff, all this
You
politics
can talk
stuff
about whatever
and
you want, but you
all
asked
that
me for a lesson.
social
You asked
media
me for a
stuff.
lesson. You can talk about whatever
yeah,
you
take
want.
off your shirt and play your guitar.
No. I appreciate calls. We can do our thing, but you asked me for a lesson. I got one for you.
I'm
That's
just
no
tell-
way.
it's
That's
all
no
fun
way
and
for a
games.
lady to be acting.
No, it's all fun and games. I'm a lady, and ladies like to see men with their shirts off. I'm just sorry.
But they keep it to themselves.
No, it does. No, I don't. I don't mean to blast it out all on your platform here and everything.
Have you ever
but
heard?
come on now. You don't call me. I call y'all. I'm like, here's my cell phone
There's the
number.
New York. I love
Call
that accent.
me.
Who'd you call? You call, yeah.
Yeah, call me. We can do this in private. Come on, no front.
Karen.
Thanks
you're
for
a lady.
taking my
Always
call.
a
I
pleasure,
haven't
Karen.
blessed
Take
this
care.
too.
Call me
I
again.
love you. Have a happy day.
You too.
A
Enjoy the weekend.
happy Labor's Day. Bye.
Right on. No mile high club out of wedlock. Karen want to talk flesh. Karen, do you know the story of the two dogs? Do you know the story of the man who was he owned dogs and he made them fight and he took bets? And he always knew which one of his dogs would win. And so one day, after numerous dog fights and the men were around betting and making money, one guy went up to the dog owner and asked him, "How do you always know which dog is going to win?" And the man replied, he said, "The dog I feed the most." Which one are you going to feed? The flesh or the spirit? I heard this story a long time ago in like Bible class. It was some woman teaching us. It was like a Friday youth church thing my mom put me in, and she told me the story of the dog fighter or whatever, and it stuck with me. And it ends with, "How did the dog I feed the most will win?" And then it was like about the flesh versus the spirit. Which will you feed the most? Will you feed your flesh or will you feed the spirit? Thank you, Karen, for your call. Appreciate it. We're getting pretty darn close here. We're getting to the point where, I know like a bunch of things are about to happen. Like a bunch of things all at once are basically going to happen. And and I'm a little unclear on what I have to do, but we're going to wing it. We're going to make it happen. Let's make the map a little bigger here. Okay. Wolf, not dog, and it was a mystical First Nations guy of South America in this story, I recall. See, I bet you there's a bunch of different versions of this story. For example, it's another one I hear every race has their own version of this story. I heard it in the Colombians. There was a man who sold crabs, and he had two barrels of crabs, and he would have one barrel of crabs with the lid on and the other barrel of crabs with the lid off. And one barrel of crabs were Chinese crabs and the other barrel were Colombian crabs. And one day a man asked the crab seller guy, "Why do you keep one lid off the other and the other one without a lid?" Well, the man responded, I keep the Chinese crabs with a lid because they'll all work together and they'll get out. But I don't need to put a lid on the Colombian crabs because they'll just fight amongst each other and they'll never get out." I've heard that version. That's kind of story. Different races, they all have their own, and it's always about their own race not working together, and some other race they work together. See, they work together. How come we can't? We just keep fighting. I like the lid crabs. It says nada. And so yeah, I've noticed every kind of race has their own version of that story too. The crabs in the bucket working together. I guess the Colombians admire the Chinese. Which race? Anybody hear a version of this one? Huh? All right. Okay. I don't want to get into something too deep here. I'm waiting for a certain symbol to populate on my screen here so that we can focus on this landing. I don't know. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Skyjack, what's up, man? We got the bike couriers, the network of bike couriers out in the world. Frederick was saying in the chat earlier about there were protests about that. About that story I mentioned. I didn't hear about that, man. They're suppressing it. Misinfo. Darn, y'all. What should we do now? I mean, I have some clips to show you. I don't want to get too deep into anything here.
In northern India,
they're saying in India, all men.
Officials are investigating.
They're saying 132 villages in India haven't had a single girl born in 3 months. What no Christianity does to a nation. Check it out.
In northern India, officials are investigating why mothers in over 100 villages have given birth to only baby boys and not one single baby girl in the last 3 months. Official data released last week showed some 950 children were born across 500 villages in Uttarakhand, a state's Uttarkashi district.
Among the 200 births in 132 villages, there were no female babies. Neha Punya has more on this disturbing trend.
This incident has been reported in the Uttarkashi district in the North Indian state of Uttarakhand, where in the last 3 months in 132 villages, officials have found that no girl children were born, and on closer inspection they found that in 16 of these villages no girls were born in the last 6 months. Now officials have sounded an alarm. They've marked these areas as red zones and have ordered a detailed probe. Officials say that it may just be a coincidence that this has happened, but activists say that it doesn't look like that. There is the possibility of female feticide having been practiced in these areas. This was outlawed.
3 months, 132 villages, not a single girl. Abortion.
Nearly 24 years ago, but it
no Christianity
happened.
Here's your Hinduism.
But activists say that it doesn't look like that. There is the possibility of female feticide having been practiced in these areas. This was outlawed nearly 24 years ago, but it continues to be practiced many times in clinics that have hoardings that say we will not carry out sex determination tests, but do so anyway. In many cases, parents take home female girl child from hospitals and then they're known to kill them and bury them quietly. In fact, a 2011 Lancet study said that 12 million female fetuses were aborted in the previous 3 decades. And the reason for this is that in many instances, cultural preferences ensure that families prefer male children over female. The reason for this is that
sounds Chinese.
Often property passes from parents to their sons and not daughters. Many families still have to pay dowries for the marriages of their daughters, which is why they prefer to have
dowries. They still do that over there?
Sons instead, and many parents also feel that their family name will be carried forward by their male child and not their female child, which is why these practices are still being seen in many parts of the country.
So, what no Christianity does to a nation, I mean, we're not, is that, I wonder what, Didn't realize this was abortion. I just thought all these guys pushed out boys and was going to ask what they're eating over there. That's what I thought too, Steve. When I heard this story first, I was thinking, how are they doing that? How is India so based and just pushing out all these boys? I thought the exact same thing. Art, are you trying to call? I'm seeing some people in the chat saying that I should give you the number. 760-515-3855. Numbers on the screen as well. Yo, Steve, I thought the same thing. I'm like, how are they doing it? How are they doing that? American Anchorbaby, search satellite lasers in January. What is this? Teflon Dawn. What is this? I got a little viewer video. Is this it right here? Chinese satellite lasers recorded over Hawaii. What is this? 6 months ago? What are you showing me? American Anchorbaby, punch in the search satellite lasers in January. Local news will show you something crazy in Hawaii all the way back in January. Wait, you guys weren't lying about the space lasers? Shut up. Wait, you guys are serious about those space lasers? Hold up. No way. It's not letting me play it. Teflon Dawn. YouTube's not. Oh, never mind. We got it. I got a call. I'll get to you. I'll get to the calls here. Sorry. Hold on. We're watching a video.
On camera. Japanese and local astronomers say a Chinese satellite was recently seen beaming down green lasers over the islands. This video captured atop the Subaru telescope on Mauna Kea, operated by the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan.
Nick, always a denier.
Bryce Moore has the story.
Look, I'm fair, and I don't want to just go. Do we ever joke around? I'm lost. You guys lost me. Is there a joke that went over my head?
The lasers flash.
Oh, the space lasers, Ivana. That's what you're talking about. Thank you.
Just a couple seconds. Initially thought to be from a NASA altimeter satellite, the Japanese put out a correction note on Monday saying NASA scientists found a most likely candidate as the ACDL instrument by the Chinese Daki-1 AEMS satellite. I went to a University of Hawaii astronomer who read up on AEMS instruments.
It's a Chinese satellite that is measuring pollutants, among other things.
It's just measuring stuff. It's just measuring pollutants and stuff.
Many different instruments on it. Some kind of topographical mapping, or they're also used for measuring stuff in the Earth's atmosphere, and I think that's what it is.
The Chinese are just measuring stuff. Relax.
Environmental measurement satellite.
I also sat down with the former Chief of Staff of Marine Forces Pacific. He had some questions.
I'm not sure, this is my opinion, why the Chinese, who are probably some of the most prolific polluters on the planet, would be collecting data on pollutants on this side of the Pacific.
Both experts
Whoa, bro. Sounding a little racist.
Say this isn't explicitly a spy satellite. It is cataloged and known by governments around the world.
The U.S. has satellites that do the same thing. So in this case, despite all of the flurry, well-deserved flurry about Chinese spy satellites and other devices, this one is just orbiting Earth and has a known orbit.
The footage was taken January 28th, before the recent incident where a Chinese balloon traversed over the mainland U.S. before being shot down off the coast of South Carolina. Which brings the question, how much is the Chinese military seeing?
Thanks for the video, Teflon Dawn. I guess you guys weren't lying about the lasers. I got a call. I don't want to have him waiting for too long. Your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Art from Ohio. How you doing, Nick?
Art, Ohio, on the air, sir. Thank you for calling. All is well.
Man, hey, first thing first, man. I gotta say shout out to your chat, man. Besides JLP and Hate Report, man. Well, I mean, I guess we all the same. Everybody
we're
pretty
family.
much all the same. Yeah. Man, this is probably about the best chat on this side of heaven, man.
Nice. The
Hands
chat.
down, man.
Right on,
definitely,
man.
definitely. And where my main man, Lord Bibby at, man? Where the Bibster at?
You mean Air Marshal Bibby? He's one of the air marshals on the plane. Yeah, I believe he's around. He was around. He might have parachuted off. It's a little late for Lord Bibby, but he was here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he probably. Yeah, you know he an alpha. He got to go to. We got to work tomorrow.
Exactly. Some of us, not all of us, can just be flying virtual planes all night.
Straight up. So what's that, man, bro? You put that on there with not the NASA, but the Russian space station, the female astronaut.
You seen that?
Where did that come from?
Serena Aunion Chancellor, supposed to be one of the first astronauts, female astronauts in space. She did a couple of first female things out there, but the story turns out it's a little bit more sinister. Emotions are high. She wants to go home, and they better bring her home, or she's bringing down the whole space station with her.
So you said that from what, man, that was just wow. Like you said that, and you kind of just skipped over that, like you didn't just say that. Like we just supposed to forget about what you just said. You said that she act like she didn't even want to go to the bathroom, and she was urinating all over the place in the space station.
Allegedly, yep. And that the smell is stuck there because you can't just replace the atmosphere of the International Space Station. It's not quite the easiest thing to do.
Whoa!
Pure emotion? And she's like trained, went to school, right? You like university, like she went through it all. I don't know. You could say affirmative action here and there. I don't know. But that's the story, allegedly. Here, let me see if I can find you some more of the alleged story here.
So check this out. So I mean, she like dog. See, that's what I'm saying. See, dogs know not to, excuse my language, shit and piss where they lay.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But you mean to tell me, like, she knew what she was doing? Allegedly. If you want to go, we're gonna go by that. Allegedly.
Yeah.
So she was willing to be and have herself in that atmosphere, because keep in mind, there ain't no windows. You can't just crack open a window and be like,
definitely can't do that.
Yeah, and throw the peace sign to ET up there and be like, hey, what's up, ET? And throw blood gang sign and Crip gang signs to ET up there. You see what I'm saying? So you knew we was gonna be stinking in that little compartmentalized space, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
she said making messes, assaulting people, destroying research, altering experiments while others were away. Yeah, allegedly.
All because she was trying to get back down to her beta-back boyfriend?
Barely. She did the first ever female like spacewalk, where they go out and they're tethered to the station, but they go out so they could repair something.
Yeah.
And so she did the first ever female-only outside repair. And according to the story, she majorly failed her last few, costing hundreds of millions, with a male lead, and had to be replaced with a male midway through. In one of the spacewalks, she dropped all of her tools, all into the void. And the next, she borrowed all of the tools of the second because the captain refused to let her touch his. And it goes on.
So okay. So let's use Artie Art's analogy. So Michael Jordan put up 40, and we talking about the finals. Michael Jordan put up 35, 28, triple average and triple doubles for the first 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
If I lose the finals in the series, meaning I don't win the championship, those points and those triple double absolutely mean 0/nada.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Negative. Yeah.
So, I mean, it look good and it sound good, but you mean to tell me that, okay, you allegedly the first female astronaut to do all this breaking the ceiling stuff. You done went up there to high-five with E.T., drink a couple martinis with E.T., but you mean to tell me in the process you tried to sabotage the spaceship that you was on?
Yeah. And apparently, NASA even tried to go along with her and fulfill her requests. She was requesting a whole new toilet. They were saying it's going to cost a lot of money in development, but we'll get right on it, at least according to the story.
Okay, first thing first.
Appeasement, right? It's crazy.
We going to get to that. So me and you, Artie Art ain't never left the soils of this great land, the United States of America. I ain't never took off and flew out in no spaceship, but at least Artie Art knows that the smallest crack in like the fuselage, the spaceship, if there's a small crack, and while that spaceship is trying to take off from the ground, that would cause that whole spaceship to blow up. That spaceship has to be sound, like cross every T, dot every I, every mathematical thing has to be worked out before that spaceship leaves off the ground, or that spaceship would explode or something bad can happen. It takes one little small mess up in that spaceship. So when I go to say that, is that yeah, she basically sabotaged her own thing or whatnot, could have potentially made her and put her other people's lives that was on that spaceship in danger just because she was trying to get back to her beta-back boyfriend down here on Earth.
Pure ego. Like, could you imagine, like, even in space, even in the space station out in space, knowing that a little hole could do everything you just said, the ego wins. And I'll have the picture of the hole, the alleged hole or whatever on the screen. It's just a tiny little drill hole, but it's pretty major.
Man, that is major. That little thing. And like and see this part about when I was a kid, I used to get into this. I used to always want to be an astronaut. I used to be onto the drawing spaceships and like all that type of stuff. I was into all of that when I was a kid. I was into the Apollo Neil Armstrong, where they got lost called. They almost didn't make it back. They almost didn't make it back to Earth when the spaceship failed, and they had to basically slingshot themselves around the moon. See, I'm hip to all that. So this idiot box right here, breaking the glass ceiling or whatnot, didn't know that could have caused maybe some electrical malfunctions to go out. Any of that stuff could have transpired from just that little tiny drill hole that she made, and they could have froze to death out in outer space.
Yeah, they're saying the argument between NASA and the Russians is like, they're saying it wasn't going to affect, at least not immediately, the pressurization or whatever of the space station. The Russians saying obviously it is. And so, it's like a back and forth thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't even be too mad at her. You like, why you can't be mad at her? Because y'all dummies so scared to put the female in her place, so scared. And that's why how the society is going how it's going, because everybody act like they scared to tell them that you just can't do and be everything that you want to be. I mean,
bingo. Everything
ain't made for you. I mean, the world and everything was made how it was for a reason. And this clearly shows that the female mentally ain't capable enough to be in no dang on space. That's why when they send these astronauts out into space, before they send them out into space, they put them through physical, mental, all these type of tests to see if they able to basically they're able to mentally and physically be strong enough to go out there into space, because it takes a toll on your body. But these dummies keep trying to prop the female up, and I'm not trying to bash no female. I don't got no problem with no female.
Totally.
I'm just gonna be logical, just like I said about with female officers, whatnot. Time and time again, you see that females, when they go to arrest some of these guys, just like I seen on one clip, it was a female or whatnot. They sent her to a domestic violence call or whatnot, and the dude got within a couple feet of her, basically arm's reach. He's drunk, calling the black female officer a B word and all this stuff, and she was so scared to really even say anything. And I'm just saying, this is how the female is. They want to have these jobs, but when you put in these high intensity situations, that it's natural that y'all don't know how to handle these type of situations. And
you're saying,
letting y'all go ahead.
No, it's just, you mentioned all the requirements and tests they put him through, but we know that all those tests and requirements have also been altered for the woman. But go on.
Yeah, But they telling you all this stuff and letting y'all believe it, and they putting not only the cops' lives in danger, but the people whose lives, that lady who she was supposed to be going and getting her out the house from the domestic dispute situation, put her life in danger. And then you got this idiot box, this astronaut talking about that, oh, we want different bathrooms for the female and different bathrooms for the male. Honey, they barely can even get these spaceships up off the ground to go to outer space, and you trying to get them to basically build a whole nother bathroom? How about let's cross and get past step 1, 2, and 3 before we try to jump to 8.
Seriously, and we're not seeing anybody act like that, so I don't even want to have this conversation about women in space, because nobody wants to be real about anything.
Yeah. When did all this stuff start happening? Oh, we got to have equal rights when we go to space and this and this and this and this and that. Ain't none of this stuff start happening. Sabotage and spaceships, all this Me Too, and we got to have equal rights for the bathroom because I don't want to sit my fanny on a toilet through the male set on. Well, honey,
which apparently was was the same for women and men. It was difficult for both men and women.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I heard you. It was difficult for both the female and the male, but you don't hear the male complaining. And now
we have different hardware. You have to imagine it must be a little bit more difficult
to
do some of that out there where it all floats around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, my thing is this: if just like with the WNBA and the NBA, if y'all want to do all of this stuff, why don't y'all start a female astronaut club to where y'all build a female spaceship? Y'all see how far y'all get with that. Why y'all want to come on to what the men are doing and trying to tell us how the men should be sending spaceships off into outer space?
Right. That's so true, because I can pee in a bottle while driving. You can't do that, ladies, and we don't need to accommodate that.
It's not that serious. Like, you should be thankful and glad that you even are able to even come to outer space. But just like I was saying about the WNBA and the NBA, y'all not even making money. Y'all ain't even thankful that the males are even supporting y'all and giving y'all money to keep y'all leagues even going, that y'all still trying to get more money up out of them. Y'all trying to take the NBA players' money. Why don't y'all build a female spaceship and then y'all do all that complaining? But don't try to jump on something that a man started going into outer space and then try to flip it around and turn it into a big sexist thing. And then when the men call her out about what she was doing in outer space, then the female wants to be in denial.
So true, Art. So true. But it's like also the fault. It's NASA. You got this whole government agency apparently capitulating to her. So just as this is one woman, that's one woman, right? But here we have the world supporting that. So like you even said earlier, can we really even blame or be too mad at this woman when you have NASA, the media, the world propping up the woman in a way that's not real? So it's not going to work.
Can you really be mad at the female? Just like I mean, they can talk all day about the male soccer team. The females, the males, they signed some contract to give the females the same amount of money that they making, meaning they giving that the males is paying out of pocket to give them basically the same amount of money that they're making when the female soccer players ain't making no money. So, I mean, how can I complain about who you give your money to when you sign the deal? Instead of you being like, well, guess what? If I got to give her all my money or whatnot, then I'm not going to even play in soccer. I can't, RDR can't be there when you sign the contract and thank you for it, but if you ain't got enough gonads and enough testicle fortitude to know that I need to stand for something, I'm going to fall for anything, and at least know when you being ran through the ringer and taken advantage of, who am I to say anything? If y'all willing to send these females and put them up out here like that, then who is RDR to say anything? This is what y'all ain't no different. Looks different than these. Go ahead, I'm listening. Sorry.
No, you're no different. I agree with you, and I was just gonna say, what are you gonna do? Well, it sounds like RDR's not gonna be an astronaut, and I agree. I'm not going up there, not with all that.
Yeah. The only thing I can say is I'm going to get up off here. I appreciate you in the chat or whatnot.
Of course, Art. Always a pleasure, man.
But now, hold up real quick. One more thing, real quick. So, I forgot that quick. I'll catch up with you later, and we still rolling with Trump. Appreciate you 100%, Nick.
Always a pleasure.
Hey.
Art, call me again, sir.
Hey, that's me in the chat, too.
That's cool. It's good to know, because people sometimes impersonate, so nice to know.
No, I had to let you know. I'll catch you later.
Right on. Art, take care. Moving the wheels. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's time to focus on the landing here. If you could just please kick back and relax just a little bit here. About to get everything going here for this final leg of the show. Much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the flight so far. We're getting close, y'all. So looking good, I think. Final bank, I believe. Yeah, I think this is it. We're gonna skip this fly around. We're gonna try and land. Discreetly looking up how to land while turning up the AC. I think I see the runway. Yep, I see the runway. Let's slow down. Nick doesn't know what any of those gauges are saying. No, that's not true. That is not true, alias. Okay, I know that's altitude. I know that's speed. I know that's fuel. He's got 47 post-it notes on his monitor with gauge info. Kick back, relax, we're landing. Make sure trays are up, make sure all the garbage, I believe the flight attendants already came by, picked up all the garbage. Make sure the trays are up, seatbelts are on, folks. We'll be landing in St. Martin's shortly. Play this song, but it's playing. I'm too busy. Autopilot's off. We're landing.
Music for the masses. I'm high class, dear mate. In between the tashes. And splash out on shit. I better get a penny farthing. And marvellous Marvin. Slam dunk with a concrete record.
Landing gear down.
It's bound to sing. Under the blue room. Where the cuts make people stink. You smell. People look like emails, white smiles. Shut down shops, couldn't walk the paper trails. And in-house fighting gets the Tom, Dick and Harry smiling. Boris Johnson and the cheeky girls shut down the underground. So it's back to orgies on the buses. Drop us a fiver, mate, no worries. £1.29 on Chagall. McFlurries. 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 McFlurries.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm gonna wee in a basin.
Yes, sir. We have landed. Princess Juliana International Airport. Beautiful landing there.
Tick, tick. Now let me through the fucking gate, you
Beautiful,
boring
beautiful
tit.
landing,
What's
mate.
wrong with this? It's all
Trump
too
Force
much.
One has landed in Princess Juliana International Airport. Your pilot is sweaty, but we done made it. Alive.
Tight of it. Wobble, wobble, wobble.
Beautiful.
Tight of it, McFlurry.
Oh, there's another plane on the runway.
McFlurry.
Thank you so much, passengers. We've arrived in St. Martin, the island in the Caribbean, and the local time is 10:32 p.m. We do appreciate you flying with us. Before you get up and start rummaging around in the overhead compartments, make sure you're careful, as the contents of said overhead compartments may have shifted during our trip here. Make sure that you talk to the flight attendants. The lovely flight attendants have all your connecting flight info should you need it. And as always, we do appreciate your continued patronage here on Anchorbaby Airlines flights. Since you have so many options, yet you continue to fly with us, we do appreciate it. Thank you. All right, y'all, we did it. We done did it. We're here. Trump Force One. We landed the president. Did our first RNAV landing on an Airbus A320neo. I kind of YouTubed some of the info there, but we still did it. Hey, don't let anybody tell you you can't land a plane with YouTube info. Okay? Trump is pleased. Right on, Sugar Pancake Face. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. Well, well, well. What a beautiful flight. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the flight, the show, and all that. Appreciate all the super chats and all the calls. 10 out of 10. Thank you. No bounce. Nailed that landing. Heck yeah. Right on. Felt that from my first class seat. It's okay, but it's still good. LFG. Nice. We did it, yo. We did it. Hey, why are we so excited that we landed a plane? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Can you land then take off in a stance, Nick? Oh, what do you mean? All right, y'all. For the weekend, we out here. Take care, Booty Warrior, and everybody else. We're going to sign off here. That's the end of the show. We will be back for Sunday. We got Sunday Church, of course, with Jesse Lee Peterson. And back Monday. It is Labor Day, but we will be doing the Jesse Lee Peterson show. There may even be, here's some inside baseball for those who stuck around to the end of the flight. We might have an extra Joel Friday episode on Monday. Tuesday, of course, Joel Friday. And then Wednesday, Wow Hassan, episode 3. And, of course, the rest of the Bond Network. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Fellas, ladies, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'm signing out for now. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you guys again, of course. And what else here? What else here? That's everything, y'all. Always, always, always a pleasure. Let me see. That's it. Oh, wait. Hold up. I don't want to sign off here before making sure I didn't miss any super chats. Renee, thank you, says, whoops, I was not supposed to go back into the ISS. Who's Your Bear with the super chat says, are you familiar with bands like Motionless in White or Pierce the Veil? I definitely know Pierce the Veil. Who's Your Bear? I've been listening to a lot of System of a Down recently. That's funny. Who's Your Bear? I was blasting a bunch of System of a Down the other day, just remembering. Good stuff. Right on. Freedom Music. I missed your super chat earlier. Said, what's up, Nicolas? Thank you for that. And I believe that's all. Guys, have a good weekend. Take care. And see you guys around. Thank you.